16 on that. 16 on that. Commentators nightmare. That's alright. Yeah, I won't be able to go. Yeah, I won't know his name. He'll pop up in big five in the first quarter and just make me look an absolute bugger. Always happens. Number 60. Go real old school.
We've gone digital.
Who is 16? Who is the mysterious 16? Is that big Cam Ellis young? What a tank. How's he doing now this year? Cam Ellis young.
Good.
Yeah, no, look, I wouldn't get this road either. Look at him.
That's great too. Nice play.
Catching up. And Huey Greenwood on the close connection.
Yep.
Has he played any games for you, or played every game?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Not sure on that one.
We can probably get. So what do we got? Yeah, we're going to bed in a minute or so. Lewis Deegan. Okay. Beautiful. 16, Big Lewis. Thank you for that. All right, we might as well get started. Hello and welcome to the Gold Coast for the round 13 QAFL match of the day, thanks to our naming rights partners, TPIL Lawyers. As both teams out on the field at the moment, it's the Surfers Paradise Demons sitting fourth on the table up against the 8th place Labrador Tigers. Surfers coming to this one off the back of a massive 110-point win against Mount Gravatt last week. And their star Mitch Patton, who has made the Queensland squad for next week's interstate game, he swept the coaches' votes with a perfect 10. This is an important match for the Demons because they've got a murderer's row coming up in their next three with Redland, Victoria Point, Palm Beach, Currumbin and an away trip up to Noosa on the menu. Labrador, their 5 wins, 5 losses, 8th on the table. Last week they had their bye. The last match they played, a 28-point loss to the Sharks in round 11. Their next 3 matches, also tough outings. Wilson Grange, Morningside and Redland, Victoria Point. Let's get underway in this one. Our umpires brought to you by Bradnam's Windows and Doors, and we are underway. Ball up It'll be wrapped up in the middle, and we'll have a repeat stoppage to start this one. So a little bit of an anticlimax. Jack Fulham, your commentator for round 13 QAFL match of the day. Greenwood working in there for the Demons. Darby Scott just completed his transfer across from Broadbeach to line up for Labrador, his first game for the Tigers in the orange boots there. So a couple of stoppages to start the match. Ireland got the handball down. It was Woodburn who got a high up and under kick. Coming out for the football for Labrador was Darrington. Now Darrington gets it inside 50, picked off by Neese, who goes up the middle of the ground. That's a good kick, found Doran, the vice-captain. So Doran at the classical centre-half back position, just inside the square. He opts to go short, and he finds Leah Campchi. So into the middle. Oh, ball picked off. Good intercept by Darrington, who goes long. He's just got a couple of runners chasing the footy back. The first of them was Jaden Young, who picked it up, was taken in a strong tackle, couldn't complete the tackle, got a handball to King. King went underground with a shot at goal, missed it to the left-hand side. A good opportunity early doors for Labrador, and the first score of the game. They're one behind. The Demons yet to score. A minute and a half played at Caliber Homes Oval. So Surfers bring it out. Cam Ellis-Yeoman searching for a lead on the wing there. Umpire has picked out a free kick, and the free kick is going to go the way of Oscar Wood. No idea what this one was for. Marking infringement potentially, but it's King who's the beneficiary. Sorry, Oscar Wood in fact. So Oscar Wood will have to kick this all of 50 metres. The man on the mark around 46, 47 metres out. So from right on the paint for the first goal today, Oscar Wood, he strikes it right on the 50. He's tugged it away to the left and lucky to squeeze it in for a minor score. So two behinds to start the day for the Tigers. Two behind the Surfers Paradise Demons yet to score. 2.5 minutes played. First quarter on QAFL match of the day. They'll go straight up the middle to centre half back. Alice Yeoman sets himself for a fly at the football. Coming over the top and grabbing it was Nichols for Labrador. Got it back to Coombs, who went inside forward 50. Darrington did well, but it's all Demons at ground level. Here they come through the middle of the ground. Once again, another poor kick picked off by Kate Gregory, who goes long inside forward 50, looking for a target there. Came off hands. Demons will get out of trouble. They go right up the middle of the ground. Alice Yeoman presented a target. To the edge of the square now. Faulkner bundled off it. Labrador work it away. They'll come out the broadcast side position. Campchi came at the football, was wrapped up, and he's going to be paid for a throw. So the pressure good early from Labrador. And taking the free kick will be Harry Sullivan. So he goes short to half forward where the peroxide locks of Luke Coombs have bobbed up with the football. So Coombs, about 80 from home, just tries to rifle one in there. And the kick picked off by Surfers Paradise. So they're holding up well under pressure. That's another poor kick into the middle of the ground. It was picked up by Deegan. And he's turned the footy over. So here they come through Doran. He goes out wide looking for Jewel. Jewel was worked under the football. And taking the intercept mark was Sebastian Stevens. Stevens has gone short to Sullivan, who's worked his way over that part of the ground. Sullivan's kick was poor, put his man there, Manchindon, under pressure. And now the Demons at half-back will have a chance to just settle this one down through Faulkner. But Faulkner hasn't got many options up the field, so he opts to go long. Out the back was Robinson. Plenty of players around the football there. Nichols for Labrador, put his head over it. Woodburn in there. Picked up 8 coaches' votes last week, Ben Woodburn, in a big win over Mount Gravatt. And the man that's going to be calling all the action with me today, Chris Yeend, the Yeend machine. He's had a dangerous, fraught journey down the M1 to get here. Yeendy, great to have you in the box today.
Great to be on board today, Jack. Just fresh off the Under-18 National Championships where Queensland tasted a narrow victory over Vic Country in the under-18 girls.
You're the busiest man in Queensland football, Yeendy.
Oh, I can't keep up with you, young Jack.
We love having you on the gantry today. QAFL match of the day, round 13. And sun's starting to come out here at Calibre Homes Oval. Hopefully it's not going to be too warm. I've got the jacket on. That might be removed at half-time. The ball on the far side of the ground will have another stoppage. So 5.5 minutes played. Labrador holding a 2-0 lead. Real soccer scoreline, Yeaney.
Yeah, it's been a testing start. Just seeing Zach Smith here on the boundary line here. I know that the D's would love to have him out there at the moment as Woodburn handballs the ball back inboard to Fraser, the captain, finds a teammate at high half forward, brings the ball up to the corridor, well-weighted kick to Greenwood. Greenwood gets rocking and rolling and finds Doran. Doran 55 metres out from goal. Lovely switch inboard and finds Shea, who is well within range, Jack.
Well worked there from the Demons. They just opt to work the ball long and they go into the pocket looking for Cam Ellis-Yeoman. It was knocked away from him. The big fella gathered at ground level, tried to go for a handball inside. That was picked off. Labrador holding up well under pressure. Field, the kid in the lid, did well. Handball inboard, they're going to get out of danger. Field will get back on the end of it, taking in a big hit from Fraser. Knocked him senseless. Camchi came up with the football, went inside the pocket. There's going to be a free kick for a hold here. It's going the Demons' way.
Yeah, that's Jill did very, very well to get front position. Or was that it's going to be a free kick to Oscar Wood. So he's one of the young guns coming through. Has played some VFL footy with the Gold Coast Suns this year, part of the Suns Academy program too. And he's shaping up to be a very dangerous forward here in Queensland, Jack. And the way he positioned himself in this forward line here at Surfers Paradise, I would not be surprised to see him get more VFL opportunities as well, because he's a good young kid with a lot of talent ahead of him.
So Wood, from around 30 out, just a couple metres in from the boundary, struck it very nicely. Not a lot of breeze to work with, but he has. He's kicked it. First goal of the day goes Surfers Paradise way. They're one straight 6. The Tigers, 2 behinds, 4-point margin, 7.25 minutes played at Calibre Homes Oval on QAFL match of the day. And Oscar Wood kicks the first for the Demons. That's a beautiful finish. It
is, and it's a great pocket from that particular pocket. If you're a right footer, you can just make the use of the angle. That breeze sort of pushes across the face of goal, Jack. So you aim for that right-hand goal post, you do get that lovely angle. And Oscar, as I mentioned, he's a great young talent, and I'm not surprised to see him kicking from there because that's the sort of kid that he is.
So a good start in this one. Labrador with a lot of attacking opportunities early. Squandered a couple of shots at goal. And the Demons, with their first real attacking foray, make them pay.
That's all thanks to TPIL lawyers, who without them we wouldn't be here doing what we do here as part of the QAFL action. A lovely Saturday afternoon as Greenwood will get to the ball first, but he turns it over there for Surfers. Lovely tackle, and the umpire gets the ball rocking and rolling. It is, in fact, Greenwood who took the advantage, puts the ball up towards King, who's been in some great form in season 2025 of the TPIL QAFL competition. Lovely kick on the outside of the boot there from Island. Finds Greenwood again, who's been industrious early. A lead is offered there by Jewell. That's ignored, so he goes further afield looking for Ellis-Yeoman. Slips over the back now. It's cleared up nicely there by Coombs. And they'll flirt with danger, Labrador, and they'll just clear on the outer side.
So ball far side of the ground. It's in the capable hands of Bailey Brown. Brown with limited options looks to go up the line. Big pack of players setting themselves for a fly at it. And a couple of players in the contest there. One of them for Surfers Paradise, Riley Watts, will have a ball up outer side wing. So Hugh Greenwood, the former Sun, Kangaroo and Crow, starting to make his presence felt in this one. Here he comes up with the footy, goes short towards half forward, bounced in front of King. His hands were good, picked it up. Now they'll go inside forward 50, the Demons. Setting himself for a contest and picking the footy up at ground level. Couldn't get boots of ball. Was that Jewell?
Jewell, yeah.
And Labrador, they're going to come away with it. Quick kick out to the flank. It's all Demons back there. First man to get to the footy was Canchi, and they're going inside 50 was LB Jones, set it to the top of the square, but coming across to take the intercept mark was Reece Nichols, and they'll get out of danger, Yandy.
Yeah, dangerous kick up towards centre half back. There's Greenwood again, lovely handball in. Ball was looking for Moore, who had no prior opportunity. Greenwood, who's had a bit of experience in the Smithies VFL this year as the spending 30% of the game on the ground as well. Does a fair bit of coaching in the academy program too. Hugh Greenwood, as if on cue again, gets another disposal, finds a teammate under pressure. Left little tap over the top. Great awareness there from Greenwood. Inside the forward 50, looking for Jewel to fly. Goes up, couldn't quite get hands on the ball. But here's another chance here for Surfers Paradise. And that is beautifully shot there by one of the promising young guns that we'll be keeping an eye on for through the academy program, Lucas Snowball. A great front and square and kicks a great goal, the 17-year-old.
One of the great names too, Lucas Snowball.
Yeah, Jack, when I first saw his name bob up in the Smithies VFL, I was like, surely, is there a misprint here? Maybe someone's taken the P155, but
it seems like the type of name you'd find on that's randomly generated on a FIFA game or a Madden game.
But the kid can play too, and he's getting some wonderful experience around being around the Demons lineup, and with Oscar Wood as well. They've got that young talent there that's stemming through, that's building.
He found himself in the perfect position to grab the front and centre, and it was a clean finish too. Didn't have a lot of time to get the ball on his boot, and he finished with aplomb. That's all we can ask for from the young man.
We're going to see plenty more from him, Jack, that's for sure.
So ball in the middle. Wood got the tap out. Greenwood was wrapped up. A lot of players around the footy. And here comes Surfers. Through Moore, goes to half forward. Snowball there again, putting his head over it was King, couldn't pick the footy up. Tigers, they get back. Nichols managed to get away a handball. Greenwood's there. Ball fumbling around, a lot of players on hands and knees. Greenwood wrapping up a tackle. And we'll have a ball up, point of the square, outer side of Calibre Homes Oval. Starting to be bathed in sunshine on it's pretty chilly Saturday afternoon.
Still shorts weather, Jack.
Shorts every day for you, Yeedy.
Saying that I am wearing pants today, but...
Coombs came up at the football. And umpire is going to call a stoppage and ball it up centre wing outside of the ground. We've played 12 and a half minutes. Surfers Paradise 2 straight. The Tigers 2 behind. 10-point margin, Yandy.
Labrador now with a kick up towards the corridor. There's all one-on-ones going forward. They're going to appeal for the 50-metre penalty. It's not going to be forthcoming there as Labrador spearing the ball up towards centre half forward. And that is a lovely, well-weighted kick that finds, I think, is it Young on the chest.
Yeah, Jaden Young, he's had a couple of opportunities. Missed one from similar range in the opening stages of the game. But that was a good lead straight up the guts and strong hands.
He's going to aim for that right-hand goal post, I sort of feel. He's got to, with his kicking action, just let it sort of come through from a bit of left to right. So right foot kick on its way. It's hangs out there too much. And that's a minor score. So that trims the margin back to 9 points. 13 and a quarter minutes gone here in the first term, thanks to TPIL Lawyers.
So the Demons, they'll be bringing it in through Jones, who takes the charity yardage on offer and just drives this one out towards the halfback flank. Coming up at it, collecting the footy was Jewel. Managed to get it away to Doran. Doran twisting and turning. It was Woodburn, in fact. He's been run down. Strong tackle. And Labrador, they want to move the footy quickly. They've got it. Forward pocket. Looking for an option inside. Good smother by Woodburn. Got it to Doran. They're away here, out of side. They go up the line. Looking for Alice Yeoman, just affected, and now the kid in the lid. Field picked it up, decides to go long inside forward 50. Few Surfers Paradise Demons getting back, and Wood took the intercept mark, and he's got a man on. That's Anderson, and Anderson has it back pocket.
Wood doing it at both ends of the ground. He's got Greenwood out of this commentary side. He elects to switch to the far wing where they've got the 2-on-1. Got to kick further down the line to Luxton if they want to go down that path. Takes a little bit off the kick and elects to go up the corridor. They've got Doran streaming through the middle of the corridor, but it doesn't, not forthcoming as the Tigers intercept. And they've got an option long up towards the top of the square. And Zach Marshall, who was presented well, he's going to back himself. He was standing on the edge of the goal square only 30 seconds ago. He'll have a shot from 40 out.
Marshall, he had a man streaming into goal, but decided to back himself, take a big deep breath and go back and kick the set shot.
Well, similar position to where Jaden Young had a shot on goal a few moments ago, the left footer. Kick on its way. It fades away to the left. In fact, it straightens up and he's put it through. And the Southern Tigers, they close the margin back to 3 points, 15 and a quarter minutes gone, all thanks to TPIL Lawyers. They're 139 to the D's, 2 straight 12.
Well, now we know why he wanted to go back over the mark and have a ping at the sticks, Yandy. Great finish.
Well, he's that sort. He's not the tallest player, but he hovers around that sort of 5'6", 5'7", but he has that thumping left foot kick on him that makes it a trademark of his, where he can kick goals from 55 to 60 out. And
good reward for effort for the Tigers. They've taken it up to Surfers Paradise in the opening stages of it. They've had a few shots on goal, missed all of those, and finally, on the fourth attempt, they find the middle of the big stick. So 16 minutes played, Calibre Homes Oval. We've got a live one early doors. It's Surfers Paradise 12, Labrador Tigers 9, 3-point margin. 16 minutes played. Ball in the middle again. Getting it down was Pierce for Labrador. It's going to be Fraser that comes away. And his kick is picked off by Lewis Deegan. The late inclusion was an emergency. Come into the side late. He's a good size, Deegan. Has it at half back. He goes looking for Marshall again, who got out the back, took a really strong contested mark on the half-forward flank. Wants to move it on quickly. He does now. Wheels around, goes close to the boundary line, sends this one inside 50, looking for Young. Coming across was Wood to knock it away. Darby Scott lurking at ground level. Ball's close to the boundary line. It'll go out. We'll have a throw in, 35 out from the Labrador goal. They've done most of the attacking in this first quarter. They've been lively. The team that came in to this round, 8th on the ladder. They freshened up after a bye last week, Yandy, and they look up for it in the early stages.
Yeah, expect them to make a big charge heading into the finals, Labrador. They've had a wonderful last couple of months of this season after a slow start. And just sort of looking here on the wing, they are playing an extra, loose defender, Labrador. So Bristow will be that loose defender sort of hovering that space. It's taken here by the Tigers inside the forward 50 again, and was taken over the boundary line. Was Luke Coombs, and we'll see a boundary throw in the forward pocket.
Every player, all 36, in the Labrador half of the ground. A lot of numbers around this stoppage. Doing the ruck work for the Tigers is Moore. From behind, Moore got the tap out. Coombs floating around there. And we're going to have another stoppage. A bit of an arm wrestle.
It's what we expect today, Jack. It's we're not going to see high scoring. It's just going to be a genuine arm wrestle.
So Moore got the tap out. They've got a man free. Having a shot on goal was Goldevsky, who pushed it across to the right-hand side, and a minor score. So they're 1 for the Tigers. Peppering the sticks in the early stages. Round 13 match of the day thanks to TPIL Lawyers. It'll be the Demons that take it from half back.
So these will bring it out towards the Coventry side of the ground. They've got Alice Yeoman a little bit further down the line. Ireland has an option short. He likes to go a little bit longer up towards Alice Yeoman. Doran will get front position, but Oscar Wood comes from a few back and takes the mark. Has an option further afield up at high half forward, looking for Patton in a one-on-one. Ball heads out towards the boundary line, looking for Snowball. Greenwood receives it, or dishes it up to Snowball, who dishes it up through the corridor. Under a bit of pressure there was Harry Sullivan, had no prior opportunity. There's Greenwood again, trying to bustle his way through. And we'll see a stoppage. We're almost into time on. It's the D's by 2 points. And of course, the Southern Tigers, Jack, they'll want to win this one because they're currently 2 games outside the 6.
So getting the hit out was Ireland. He's got a man back. It's Shea, twisting and turning. Handballs it in the Alice Yeoman direction. Had to pick it up off the deck. That was well done. Leah Camchi. Clever kick over the top, found Fraser. Now Fraser's got a runner on. It's Shea, who goes inside the forward 50, looking for Wood. Strong mark. High point of the football, and took a strong contested mark. 25 to 30 metres out, slightish angle. And Oscar Wood, he's been doing it at both ends in this first quarter. Will go back and have a shot at goal for the Demons' third.
Well, we already know how good this kid is, and he's further established that this is a game that can really make him, because he's up against a very strong defence of Labrador, and for him to I think it's his 4th mark for the game already, and the way he's presented himself nicely. We saw him take the ball here on the commentary wing. He read it so well, and to see him do it again just 30 seconds later is outstanding.
So Wood to hit the scoreboard. It's a longish run up, a fluid kicking motion, and he loves it off the boot. Oscar Wood puts through his first of the day, and the Demons jump out to an 8-point lead. They're 3 straight. The Labrador Tigers 1-4-10. 20 and a half minutes played first quarter. QAFL match of the day thanks to TPIL Lawyers.
That was his second goal.
Second?
So, yeah, after kicking that one. So he's doing it from both pockets, and we're sort of seeing just how great he's able to read different positionings here on the ground here, Jack. And that's it's a tough pocket for that one to kick from, and he was able to slot it through with confidence.
He's got a beautiful kicking action, very fluid motion. And I think he tried to kick it out onto the road there. It was sweetly struck.
It is out to an 8-point lead, thanks to TPIL Lawyers. We'll have a restart on proceedings. Quick around the grounds, thanks to TPIL Lawyers. And Aspley lead Mount Gravatt 26-8. Sherwood lead Broadbeach 14-13. And that's the score. We see Maroochydore leading Morningside 13-12. So a few tight games already underway. We've had a game that started earlier on. Palm Beach Currumbin lead Noosa 57-26. That game started at 1 p.m.
The longest road trip in QAFL football.
Yeah, exactly. And they start that nice and earlier as well. As Surfers Paradise get another clearance. They're working their way beautifully. The captain spears it inside the forward 50, looking for Jewel. Very good job there. Almost by Labrador. It's picked off here by the D's. Handball up towards the corridor. Was looking for Snowball. Labrador working tirelessly on the last line of defence, and that kick won't go too far because it lands in the lap there of Doran. And he's going to back himself to have a shot on goal here, Jack.
Great pressure from the Paradise small forwards, and they forced a rush kick that ended up in the hands of Doran. Close to the boundary line. Do you reckon he's got it in him?
No, he's going to lob it up. He has Greenwood in his sights, who allows a little bit of assistance there for Woodburn and blocks up the space. And Benny Woodburn, who has had a wonderful season here in the TPIL QAFL competition, he'll have a shot at goal almost directly in front.
He has been in great form, and just 2 men free. A little bit of a lapse in concentration late in the quarter from the Tigers' defence to allow 2 prime moving midfielders space inside the forward 50, and Woodburn's going to be the beneficiary.
He hasn't had as much of it so far, but his kicking across half back is outstanding, and his kicking up forward is just as good. They've got 4. They've got 4 straight. Good kickings, good footy, and the D's, well, they've had 3 set shots on goal, Jack, and they've calmly slotted them through, and they lead this one. We're at it to a game-high lead, 14 points.
Danger signs for the Tigers because they've had so much ball inside their forward 50, especially in the first 15 minutes of the game. Surfers starting to get the game back onto their terms and shot out to a 14-point lead.
They'll be ruining those missed opportunities earlier on, wouldn't they, Labrador? After starting the game so well, really quickly.
They were some gettable set shots. So round 13, match of the day. Jack Fulham, Chris Yeend, your call team on this Saturday afternoon. Ball back into the middle. It'll be Ireland going up against Pearce. Booting it out of midair was Greenwood. Going back with the flight of it was Egan. Gathered. Handball was too hot for Darby Scott to handle. Tracking the footy was Shea. Big pack of players converge on it. Umpires picked out a free kick. It'll be for too high. They want to play the advantage. Now he'll come back and take his kick.
Well, the ball ended up in the hands of Greenwood with the advantage not being called, and they've just got to find a way to shut him down.
So Ireland lobs this one long. It'll drop 40 out. Here's Wood again. Hit the footy hard and ended up taking it close to his chest because he leaped up that high, and from 45 metres out, Oscar Wood is going to have another shot at goal.
Well, I think we're seeing something special here today, Jack, and I know, with the wonderful work that you do with your professional calling career, I don't think this will be the last time you'll be calling him, because we're going to be seeing a lot more of him, particularly at the top level when the opportunities come for him.
So Wood crosses the arc, strikes it from just inside 50. He's hooked it away to the left-hand side, a minor score. Maybe we wrapped him up too much, Yendy.
Well, that's his 5th mark for the quarter, and he leads. We don't have the stats, but he leads everyone in that stat, surely.
He's dominated the early stages. It's Surfers Paradise 4-1-25, Labrador Tigers 1-4-10, 15-point margin, 25 minutes played first quarter.
The kick will come out here towards the Coventry into a genuine one-on-one contest. That went out of bounds in the full, so it'll be a free kick to Albie Jones, who out-muscled Riley Coombs. Albie Jones is one of the absolute stars of this Surfers Paradise team. Left foot thumping kick looking for Alice Yeoman. Fell into his lap and didn't expect it to do so. Ball hits the deck. It comes out now to Surfers. An up and under kick ricocheted off the boot there from Patton. Hard up there on the boundary line. Turnover now. Woodburn. Look away handball into the corridor now. 25 metres out from goal. Ricochets hop again. There's a lot of wonderful defensive pressure from both sides, and we'll see a stoppage within close range for Surfers Paradise.
The ball 25 metres out. It's going to be Wood to do the ruck work. Can he pinch one out of the ruck? Pearce comes down. Alice Yeoman read the tap off the boot. Couldn't get boot to ball. And taken high was Woodburn. He's a diminutive fellow and he dropped the knees. But taken clean around the chops. And Ben Woodburn, who's kicked one already. Go back, have a look at his second. Tidy Shangle, 25 metres out, camped in the right-hand forward pocket.
And just quick around the grounds in the TPIL Lawyers competition. Wilson Granger got the hot start against Redland Victoria and lead that one 19-7.
Would be a big upset.
After seeing Wilson Grange play last week, they sort of dropped their... They had a tough outing against Broadbeach, so get all eyes here on Woodburn.
So Woodburn on approach now. He stabs at the kick and he's pushed it across to the left-hand side. So a couple of reprieves for the Tigers in the last few minutes. Surfers Paradise, 4-2-26. Labrador, 1-4-10, 16-point margin, 27 minutes played.
Well, the quarter at the moment is leaning to the way that it started, with Labrador missing a couple of crucial set shots, and the Surfers Paradise have done the same. But they go up the corridor now. The Tigers through the outstretched arms there of Luke Coombs. It's taken here by Moore. Moore sends the ball inside the forward 50. Yeoman tried to outmuscle his opponent, but the Tigers have taken a mark with confidence.
It was a good mark coming across from Bristow. So they're out of sight of the ground. Can they get a score before half time? They've got a man out here. Darby Scott looking for it. That's a great tackle. Wrapped up. It's going to be holding the ball.
They're all one-on-ones inside the 50 too. So
it was Riley Watts who laid a strong tackle, and he's got man ahead of the ball. If he can move it on quickly, he can't. So he's gonna have to lob this one long. What? His kick will drop just inside the 50. Jewel had a good grab at it. Couldn't complete the mark. Ball just outside the 50 now. Handballed inside. Jewel's there and having a shot on goal. From 30 out was Snowball, who got it to the top of the square, and Cam Alice Yeoman's taken a mark right on the goal line. So Alice Yeoman, now this will be interesting. If time does expire and the siren goes, he won't be able to run around. So from deep in the pocket, he runs around now. He's kicked it into the man on the mark. Snowball was there to try and get the rebounds. So was Patton, and siren has sounded, and a big let-off on the quarter-time siren for Surfers Paradise with Cam Alice Yeoman flushing it into the man on the mark. At quarter-time, round 13 match of the day for TPIL Lawyers. It is the Surfers Paradise Demons holding a 16-point lead, 4-2-26. The Labrador Tigers 1-4-10. We'll take a quick break and be back with the second quarter action.
You need a strong team. At TPIL Lawyers, we rise above the pack. When it comes to your total and permanent disability and compensation claims, choose TPIL, the Personal Injury Lawyers. Kicking goals for Queenslanders since 1983. TPIL Lawyers, proud partner of AFL Queensland.
Welcome back to Calibre Homes Oval on the Gold Coast for the TPIL Lawyers QAFL match of the day. Surfers Paradise taking on Labrador. And at quarter time, it is the Surfers Paradise Demons holding a 16-point lead. My name is Jack Fulham. Joining me on the gantry today is the voice of Queensland football, Chris Yeend. Yeendy, how did you see that first quarter?
Oh, I thought it was exceptional from Surfers Paradise, and I've seen most of Hugh Greenwood's games across differing levels this year, and I think this is his best performance so far. He seems to be causing a lot of headaches. He's getting away into free space and orchestrating a lot of those goals. So, but Lucas Snowball's been a standout. I just can't see anyone so far for Labrador, aside from probably Bailey Brown and maybe Mason Field, some of those younger guys who are trying to make that bit of an impact, and Bristow across half back as well for the Tigers.
And before we get underway in this second quarter, a big shout out for next week, a very important game, the Queensland State side travelling down to Tasmania, northwest Tasmania. Latrobe is where the game is going to be played for state bragging rights. Queensland versus Tasmania, you can catch that on YouTube. It'll be a fantastic day, so make sure you're tuning in around this time next Saturday. Queensland versus Tasmania state game. Back here at Calibre Homes Oval, second quarter about to get underway. Pearce for the Tigers going up against Harrison Island of the Demons. He was good in that first quarter, Pearce. So ball back underway. Island got the hit out for Surfers. Greenwood tracking it. Alice Yeoman bursting through the centre. Goes into the forward 50. A little bit too hot for Wood to handle. Patton put his head over the football. Could get a free kick. And he is. It's going to be for high contact. Or have we got a ball up?
Yeah, no, that'll be high contact.
High contact. And the free kick going the way of Lawrence King.
And he's a very good footballer too, King. He's known for kicking goals in a hurry too, and not to build him up too much, but this is definitely within his wheelhouse.
The last man you gave a rap to, Yeende, pushed it across the face. Ken King goes straight through the middle. He's struck it nicely. It's fading away, but it's held its line just enough. First goal of the second quarter goes the way of the Demons, and Lawrence King.
Well, that's a beautiful finish there in the forward pocket, and his kicking action actually suits that position of the ground as well, particularly with the breeze blowing across towards us as well. So, Jackie, just lets it talk from right to left. That's an exceptional start from him.
And he wants a little bit of smoke with his Labrador opponent. Lawrence King getting into it with Mackenzie Bristow after he kicked the goal. We'd love to see a little bit of fire and brimstone early in the match. 1 minute, 15 played, second quarter. Surfers Paradise, 5-2-32. Labrador Tigers, 1-4-10, 22-point margin. This one starting to get out of hand for the Tigers, Yeende. They need the next one.
Alarm bells are ringing because they've conceded the last three in a pretty good time, but some sharp work out of the ruck there from Pearce, just to try and open up a potential clearance here for the Southern Tigers. It comes out now to Shea, who darts through the corridor now, has a teammate loose through the corridor. That was Luxton. Here comes Doran. Doran with a left foot kick inside the forward 50. And that is sunny side up and a lovely hit. And it finds his teammate. Is that Wood again?
It is Wood.
He dropped one before, which was a bit out of character for him. But this is his sixth mark for the game. And another key shot on goal. He's already kicked 2-1.
They're just such strong hands on the lead, and also the pace at which he attacks the footy at. You see a lot of key forwards, they get into this when they're coming out at the football, taking like a couple of steadying steps, slowing their pace down before they fly for the mark. Oscar Wood, he just goes straight at it.
Yeah, well, that's the confidence is riding high. 48 metres out from goal. He's just stuck it home. And he points his hands to the sky. He's got 3. And, Jack, I'm going to go the early crow, but I think we're seeing the launch here of Oscar Wood. He's kicked bags of 3 and 4 already in the TPIL Lawyers competition. I think he's going to go a bit better today.
Yeah, this could be big bag territory for Oscar Wood. A real breakout star performance in the making. He has dominated the opening stages of this game. So with 3 minutes played, and Surfers are out to a 28-point lead, flexing their muscle because they've got a tough next 3 coming up, Yeende, with the Sharks, Palm Beach, Currumbin, and a road trip up to Noosa. So they need the 4 points today. Ball back in the middle. Island and Pearce to do the ruck work. They've kicked 2 goals in 3 minutes to start the quarter, and this bounce is going to be recalled. A little bit skew whiff. Our umpires brought to you by Bradnam's Windows and Doors. We thank Bradnam's Windows and Doors for their continued support of AFL Queensland and our umpiring fraternity. Socket forward by Ireland with Coombs hot on his tail. Snowball was in there. Woodburn came up with it, and he's going to be called for holding the footy. So Labrador will get the free kick at centre-half back. Coombs wanted to go on with it with Woodburn.
Need to bring it out to the commentary side. They've got the opportunities here.
Got some numbers out here. He goes looking for Marshall, went over Marshall's head, mentioned him there. They're appealing for deliberate out of bounds. They're not going to get it, and we'll have a throw in right in front of our commentary possession, centre wing broadcast side of Calibre Homes Oval.
Palm Beach Currumbin 8-10-58, lead Noosa 4-4-28, Maroochydore 21, Morningside 19, Aspley 31 up over Mount Gravatt, Broadbeach 7 over Sherwood. And 6 points the margin between Wilston Grange and Redland Victoria Point in favour of the Grange as a sharp left foot kick here from Patton. Hugs the boundary line, taken here by Nichols, who handballs it towards the corridor. It was ill-directed. Working his head over the ball there was Field, and we'll see a stoppage. Just looking here at Axel Moore, who's just come onto the ground here for the D's. Looking to insert himself onto the contest.
In the headgear. So Ireland got it down to Moore, your man. He couldn't get a free disposal. He's going to be called for a throw. So Coombs takes the free kick, a low chiselling ball. First to it was L.B. Jones. Clean gather, went back to Moore. Moore's handball intercepted and wrapped up in a strong tackle. It was Cade Gregory. So we'll have a ball up just in front of the interchange gates. Broadcast side of the ground. Surfers Paradise holding a 28-point lead. We tick over 5.5 minutes played. Ireland, clean tap, back to Moore. Here's Chapman. Chapman's hands were sharp, and now risky kick into the middle of the ground. It's been picked off by Manchindon, who got it to the kid in the lead, Mason Field. Field, he's got no one home. Tracking the ball back was Broadbent. He's first to get to it, gathers, and now he's got a man in support. The handball was too hot for Luxon to handball. Luxon went back in there after it. Big pack of players converge on the footy, 45 metres out. Manchindon still there. And L.B. Jones is going to see this one out. And we'll have a throw in 35 out from the Tigers' goal.
Sorry, Jack, just wanted to praise the workload of L.B. Jones as well. He was here on the commentary ring a few moments ago and he's taken the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, strong support for his back six. L.B. Jones, that's what you want from your midfield players.
We'll see a boundary throw in here for the Southern Tigers as Wood into the ruck there for the D's. He's nudged underneath it, kicked well smothered from Surfers Paradise, kick along the outer side.
Geez, hasn't Moore had an impact since he came onto the ground yet? That's about 4 touches in the last minute.
Yeah, well, that's the sort of player he is. He leads well through the midfield. I think it's his first year at the D's as well. Kick through the corridor. Ball turned over. Here's a chance for Labrador. They've got to pull the trigger and kick a goal here. On the run, right foot kick. It fades away, but it's downfield.
Robinson, he was cleaned up as he kicked it.
My question would be is if looking where the Surfers Paradise player is standing, the ball landed inside the field of play.
And it was Robinson that got him when he kicked the football, and he came off worse for wear. Sorry, Anderson, in fact. It was Robinson that kicked the footy. And it looks like they are going to pay the free kick.
So they'll actually come back because the shot on goal had gone through on the full for a point. It has to come back to whence it came. So that's where Dean Robinson will have the shot on goal after being taken down. And he plays on quickly. And Nichols was going to run in and...
He did kick it. It was a good finish. But it's not going to count.
And now if you're the D's, you look to shut down that avenue, but the umpire clearly hadn't called time on.
Dean Robinson, could he be Australia's youngest Dean?
He probably could be.
Not a name that's getting around in rotation too often these days, Edie.
No, not at all. Well, let's just see what he's like with his kicking action.
I'm going to back him in here.
Nichols offers the lead again, and Robinson just pulls the trigger 48 metres out from goal. That's conveniently when the wind picks up and it's knocked through for a rush behind. Cuts the margin back to 27 points here, thanks to TPIL Lawyers.
So Surfers are going to come straight up the middle where Hugh Greenwood has found some space in the middle. Clean hands to Woodburn. Dashing through the middle. He goes looking for Ellis Yeoman. That was perfect. End-to-end footy from Surfers Paradise. Yeoman moves it on quickly. And he's got a man 40 out from goal. And that man is Samuel Jewell, who from 40 metres out, directly in front, can go back and have a look at the Demons' 7th of the day.
Well, he's been stars of opportunities, but that's due to the wonderful defensive work from the Labrador defence.
Sam Jewell, big strapping lad, on the runway now, strikes it, keeps it low, but it has gone straight through the middle. He loved it from the moment it left his boot. He gets his first of the day. Surfers have their 7th. It's out to a 33-point margin. Surfers Paradise 7-2-44. Labrador 1-5-11. 9.25 minutes played. Second quarter on TPIL Lawyers match of the day. That was a good finish, Andy.
It certainly was, and they've had that's where Surfers Paradise have really started to break away from this contest. They're giving their forwards good looks in good spots around 30 metres out, 40 metres out directly in front. So it's not like they've gone out of the pockets just a little bit, but they're trying to work their way through the corridor and giving it the best access. So they've the key stat for them is they've had 8 of their 9 shots on goal have been from set shots, and they've kicked a staggering 6-2. So
they set shots from good positions too. They're not getting trapped going into the pocket. They're keeping it straight in that sort of V coming out as Woodburn. Got a kick forward, looking for Shea. Bounced over his head. Shea follows up at ground level, trying to lay the tackle. Isaac Main working in there. Here's Deegan. Got it back to Main. Main trying to break the tackle of Moore. He does so. Sweeps a handball to Coombs. Now Coombs with some space to work in the middle of the ground. Transfers it across to Matthew Hoy, who dropped the mark, picked it up, lost his feet, went with a handball that was cut off by Doran. Doran sweeps it through to Faulkner. Faulkner goes inside forward 50, and finding some space is Patton, whose man slipped over. Well, Patton was just good enough to work off him and took a uncontested mark 35 out.
Yeah, that's just bad luck there from the Labrador defence, and it happens to be at the time that you slip over, it's your man that finds an uncontested mark 10 metres in front of you while you're on the deck, just watching him do it with ease. And that's just been the story of the day so far for Surfers Paradise. They've just found their teammates in the right spots.
So Mitch Patton, he claimed the perfect 10 coaches' votes last week against Gravatt. And his kick was always offline, missed to the left-hand side, and a minor score and a let-off for the Tigers. So the margin is 34 points at 11.25 minutes played. Surfers Paradise leading.
And it's been 24 minutes since Labrador kicked their last goal, or their only goal so far, and that was off the boot of this man at the moment in Marshall. He finds his teammate now, looping it over the top there, just hard up there on the boundary line. Right foot kick come here from field. Dangerous kick up towards the corridor. It's a strong tackle laid there, I think, there from Josh Young, and we'll see a stoppage. So they've just got a younger team, Labrador, just getting physically intimidated at the moment.
Surfers forcing them wide too.
And Marshall finds his teammate here in Gregory. Almost a look away handball back in board. It was almost to a 1-on-4, but they're able to work it away here, the Southern Tigers. Right foot kick inside the forward 50. They've got the numbers, Labrador, and that's beautiful. And they should just go back here through Bailey Brown and relax and kick the goal.
Good attack on the football. And it was Riley Coombs just throwing it on his boot, getting the ball moving forward after a chain of handballs. They've probably been guilty, especially in this second quarter, of just having one too many handballs. But Coombs moved it forward quickly. And Bailey Brown, it was a strong attack of the football, took a good mark.
Well, he was one of 3 Tigers there after some of the Surfers Paradise players pushed up. So Brown will be a left or right about this kick, and it's coming back. Not enough. Minus score. Margin has been restricted to 33 points.
So Surfers to bring it in through Nice. He's we call the play on now and just thumps this one long. That is a massive kick. That's going to land in the centre circle. It was thumped away from Jewell. Woodburn lurking over the back. Here's Patton. Patton gathers, goes inside 50 looking for Wood. Coming across with a good spoil was Jaden Young. Labrador with a man at ground level is just going to see this footy out. With a couple of Demons hot on his tail, so we'll have a throw in, 45 out from the Demons goal, taking the left of your screen in this second quarter. They lead by 33 points. And once again, the rapid transition from full back to full forward without a Tiger touching it.
It's outstanding to watch if you're a Surfers Paradise fan. We know there's plenty of you watching online at the moment. They're just showing us how outstanding they are.
It's a shallow throw in. Picking up was Coombs. He had his kick smothered. Now ball to the hot spot. Big pack of players converging on it. Going back with the flight was Reece Nichols. He's going to be paid the marker a free kick. Take your pick. It was a strong contest from Nichols.
Well, Nichols looking to go up the corridor. Finds his teammate further afield there in Derrington, who played a fair bit of footy through the VFL. Kicked some goals as well. Noted goal kicker. Big kick out towards the outer wing, and that's a strong, comfortable mark taken by the D's. They probably need to come through the corridor, and that they do. Jones can kick the ball inside the forward 50. Takes just a little bit off it because he saw Snowball. Meters in the clear inside the forward 50, and that's another mark taken there. They're just picking them off, aren't they, Jack?
Yeah, they've just been content to lower the eyes, but also kicking the football to dangerous positions. Countless times, Surfers have been able to take a mark, 70, 80 out, wheel around and look inside 50 and get those deep penetrating entries in good positions too. They're not taking shots from the pocket. They're getting set shots in that sort of V, 45 degrees.
This is their fourth shot on goal from the corridor for the quarter, and that's a return of 2-2, and that's Goran who misses to the far side. Minor score, margin, back to 34 points.
So it will be Nichols who will bring it in. He goes into the pocket and finds Zach Marshall, Labrador's only goal kicker in this one so far. So Marshall against the boundary line. He goes short back to Nichols, the man who kicked it to him. So still camped inside the defensive 50. He's going to be called to move it on now. That's a dangerous kick to half back. He's in search of Main, affecting the contest. It was Keenan Faulkner able to get it out across the line, so we'll have a throw in, 75 out from Surfers goal, and they're turning the screws on the Labrador Tigers in this second quarter.
28 minutes since their only goal, Jack, and they need a lot more, obviously.
So Ireland knocked it down, Woodburn overran it. Tigers come up with the ball. Here's Deegan, clever handball to Derrington, who could not keep the ball in. We'll have a throw in at half back. I'll tell you what, Harrison Island is starting to come into his own in the ruck.
Well, he's got that confidence. So we're seeing a blood rule here. So we will see Zach Marshall coming off the ground. I've seen him open some games right open here in the TPIL Lawyers QAFL competition this year, Marshall, and his first year in this competition and first year with the Southern Tigers, as Greenwood had an outstanding first term, finds Alice Yeoman, looked to find a teammate there who was under enormous pressure, and Alice Yeoman, who sold his man into a fair bit of trouble, was able to affect the spoil, and we'll see a boundary throw in the forward pocket.
The ball has been camped on this broadcast side of the ground for the last couple of minutes.
I did say your eyes were a bit old, Jack, and you wanted to see more of the action, so they've given it to you.
We do like it. Ball back into play. Pearce got front position, tapped it down. Well, it could be a free kick for a high tackle. It is. And it's going to go the way of Ben Woodburn. And that's the third or fourth high tackle that he's received. You know, he's a diminutive figure. And Labrador consistently going high on him. And Woodburn, you reckon he's got the range? He'll have to kick it from 50.
Yeah, I think it's just beyond him here because he is kicking to that very slight breeze that's blowing in our direction.
The breeze has died down just a little. So Woodburn on the approach now. He crosses 50. He arced around to try and get good purchase on it. It's going to drop, and that is a massive grab. Huge fly from Axel Moore.
And just hearing the reaction from his teammates here on the sideline, Jack, I think they were very surprised that he was able to get a few foot off the ground with that one.
Not a known flyer, but he entered the stratosphere there. That is definitely a mark of the day contender. You know what, I'll call it now. That was mark of the day. And Moore, from 20 metres out, converts. Great play, Axel Moore, take a bow. The fly and the goal. And it is all Surfers paradise, 40 points the margin. We get close to time on in this second quarter, 18 and a half minutes played. It's Surfers 8-4-52, Labrador 1-6-12.
Just a quick around the grounds, thanks to TPIL Lawyers, and that's to be expected. Aspley having a very good showing against Mount Gravatt. They lead that one 58-16, but a player who's kind of been out of form in this year a little bit in recent times, Connor Stackelberg, he has kicked 5 of the 9 goals for Aspley. So he's starting to get in that form and confidence that we know he can get into. And if I was the opposition team, I'd be pretty intimidated with what he will dish up once he gets going. As Rucks will contest again, as one out of there by the Tigers, up towards centre half forward. Handball over the top. Was looking for his teammate who couldn't quite gather the ball on the last night. It was Deegan, who is still circling around this contest. And Albie Jones lays another big tackle, and we'll see a stoppage, 55 out from Labrador's goal.
A tackle on Darby Scott, who's come across from Broadbeach. Pierce to do the ruck work. Up against Ireland. Pierce just thumped it forward. Deegan overran it. Sullivan there. Deegan lays a strong tackle. Have another ball up.
Just all one-on-ones to the left of your screen as well. So it all means that we've got one-on-ones inside the forward 50 there for Labrador.
Pierce got the tap. Greenwood high up and under kick to send to the central wing position. Good mark going back with the flight was Bristow.
Done it a few times already today. Bristow has been outstanding across half back, just hasn't had enough support.
A lot of confidence in the air. Bristow will go long down the line, setting himself for a fly with Marshall coming from the back. Will Broadbent to knock it away over the line to have a ball in, 75 out from the Tigers' goal. Starting to slow the play down a little bit in the last few minutes. Ireland and Pierce doing it. Pierce shoved Ireland out of the way. Handball to Coombs. Coombs was taken high. He played for it a little bit. Received a free kick from the umpire. So Coombs can send them inside 50. A rare foray in this second quarter. Called to play on. Low dart of a ball close to the boundary line. It's going to go out 35 out from the Tigers' goal.
I think it was the only option, Jack, because Harrison Island dropped into the corridor around 30 metres out from goal. That was where he was initially looking, but he just sat alone in that spot. So it forced him to kick wide, which results in the current stoppage. And Island does win the hit out. Comes out now to Greenwood. Dribbling kick out towards Doran. Lovely handball back inboard from Fraser, who finds a teammate in Anderson, who bombs the ball up towards the commentary wing. Nichols taken down the ground immediately by Alice Yeoman. But done so a little bit over-aggressive, and it's in the back. So he needs to get going really quickly. Up to the corridor now, just getting a deft little hand on there with Snowball. Sharp work there by Fields. We'll bring it out towards the common side to Egan. But you can just see further afield, Island's just sitting all alone in that hot spot, and that kick goes towards the boundary line again. That's the presence there from Harrison Island. I think there's a free kick that's been awarded, but Harrison Island has really caused a lot of hiccups for Labrador going inside 50.
He has. It's Deegan who's been paid the free kick. Must have been for an over-the-shoulder. Deegan to the hot spot. Big pack of players flying at it. At ground level, it's all Demons. Handball out towards the 50. Here's Sullivan, got it to Coombs. Coombs had a shot on goal from the 50. Slid off the side of his boot and out on the full, close to the right hand behind post. So it'll be Albie Jones taking the free kick for Surfers. Deep in his defensive 50. He went across goal, found Broadbent. Broadbent 20 metres out from his defensive goal face. He's got some options. He goes into the middle of the ground looking for Axel Moore. Why not after the mark that he took? But it's picked off by Egan, who's taken a couple of defensive marks in the last few minutes. Drives it inside 50. Deegan could have been pushed out of the way, and floating across to take the intercept mark was Hamish Anderson.
He switches across the outer side. Only got one-on-ones going forward of the ball, so Labrador have done very well to block up that space. Handball inboard there from Fraser. Good intercept there from Godleski, who forces the turnover and sends the ball back inside the forward 50. And
great body work from Will Broadbent.
He's able to find Woodburn. He's got Jewel further afield, who offers a strong lead. Just took a little bit off the kick, so Greenwood marks. Defensive 65 will wheel up through the corridor. That just went to 15, and Surfers Paradise will look to push forward again.
So it's Anderson on the point of the square at half back. He wants to switch it across the ground. He's going to go with a long kick. He's got a man on. Will it have the legs? Yes, the kick does. Coming up with it was Shea, who sold the handball and now gives the handball to LB Jones. Jones stepped inside, goes looking for a couple. Alice Yeoman, the full express train, was hit right on the chest with a fantastic darting ball. And Alice Yeoman from 40 out will have a shot at goal.
I reckon the training during the week, Jack, they would have had a few of the rubbish bins around the 30 metres to 40 metres out from goal in the corridor, because this is their 5th shot on goal from pretty much an identical spot for the quarter.
So Alice Yeoman, he'll have to kick this from around 45. On approach now, he decides to kick it from behind the arc. The distance is not an issue, neither's the accuracy. Alice Yeoman kicks his first of the day. He gets in on the party. And we're out to a 46-point lead for the Surfers Paradise Demons. They're making it look easy at the moment, Yandy.
They certainly are, but they're just kicking it into the perfect spots. They're giving their forwards the best options. And you know, at one stage they kicked 6-2 from set shots, but they're getting enough looks in now. They've kicked 8-4.
How about the charging lead from Cam Alice Yeoman? I tell you what, those are train tracks you don't want to be on when Cam Alice Yeoman's coming at full flight.
You would get out of your way.
I would not drop back into the hole in front of that man.
You'll happily not do the team thing and just calmly get out of the way from Cam when he's running through. And he's had a wonderful season playing against one of his former sides as well.
Sometimes bravery has its limits, Yandy.
Alice Yeoman is injected into the midfield. It's one out of the ruck there from the Tigers. They're trying to push forward again here, the D's. Alice Yeoman again. There was a throw. So a free kick will go to the Tigers. On the outer side, they've just got to get the ball moving quickly. They've got to run the risk of maybe conceding a few goals to kick a few goals. A thumping right foot kick, and Marshall is the player in the gun. He was taken out, and he will have a free kick. And he will, hopefully, for his team's sake, end the run of 39 minutes between his goals, which he's kicked the only one so far.
But it was fast, direct ball movement, and it actually gave Zach Marshall a chance in the air to run and jump at the football, rather than a lot of these low spearing entries that we've seen that have forced their leading players out wide. This was more direct stuff, and surprise, surprise, they're getting a shot at goal.
Exactly. Got him more into one-on-one there, and Marshall with a left foot kick. It will go good. That's home. It's a goal. So we've asked for it, Jack. We've said just get the ball moving quickly, and it's fallen in the arms there of Marshall. He has kicked their only 2 goals at maybe 40 points the margin, but you've got to take every risk you can to hopefully get the result in your favour. That's a lovely finish.
It was a real helicopter off the boot, but it had the length, had the accuracy, and Zach Marshall, he's been impressive from limited opportunities. Got his second.
Well, he's had to chase a fair bit of footy up the ground as well just to get his hands on the ball. So it's now we know that if they get the ball in quickly enough, well, he's there. But they need a few other options as well, which they kind of lack just at this point in time.
They seem to be outsized pretty much all across the park. There's some big bodies in the Surfers Paradise team. Good ruck work. Alice Yeoman, handball, and now Doran comes up with it. Doran, he's got Ireland on. Now they go long inside the forward 50. It's going to be a free kick for a hold here. Which way will it go?
To Labrador.
Yeah, Labrador. Jewel wrestling with his opponent, Jaden Young, and Jaden Young's going to come up with a free kick. He goes short into the pocket. Mackenzie Bristow. He goes, skirts the boundary line, finds Main. Main plays on to the broadcast side. Centre wing is knocked away from Robinson. Now coming up with it is the Tigers. Here's Coombs of the Riley variety.
There's no one behind this contest.
To get on the boot. Wide open forward 50. Picking it up was Brown. Brown's dribbled it in front of Gregory. Gregory's got the pace to run onto this ball. Gather, kept it low, had a shot on goal. It's hit the post. Oh, Kate Gregory showed him a clean pair of heels. Gathered, did everything right except the finish. The cannon into the padding. and a minus score for Labrador. Demons get a let off, but it could be coming back, Andy.
It certainly could, and Marshall puts his head over the ball, therefore forfeits any prior opportunity in high tackle there, and Marshall is going to be penalised for holding the ball, and Marshall, he is not backing down from the challenge, did not like the service dished his way, and the umpires did an exceptional job because Marshall buried his head and Woodburn, well, some version of a suplex. I know there's about 6 of them. I'm yet to determine which one would have been the right one. As Shea sends the ball across the outer side, finds Luxton meters in the clear. A lead is offered by Faulkner at centre half forward. That one's ignored as they push further out wide. Now up towards the corridor, which has been oh so good for them. Jewell couldn't quite trap it. Taken there by Labrador, having to double back. This is very dangerous. More handballs back in board and finds his teammate who kicks the goal in the captain and Harrison Fraser. Wow.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. And just great desperation from Axel Moore to keep the football in. Handball it back into the corridor. And it's a good finish. Harrison Fraser.
Well, they were just hesitant
on the boot.
They were just hesitant taking over the line there, Labrador. In that case there, do you just sort of take the ball and hope to be tackled over?
Well, I think this is the confusion that the insufficient intent rule has brought in. Creates a lot of insecurity in defenders because once upon a time when defenders have just been so comfortable going to the line, basically causing a stalemate, now they think twice about it, and your acting skills in some cases have to be pretty good, but I think in that case could have been taken across the line without too many questions raised. But
well, as a fan, you know that the ball's going to be live more often than not, Jack. So in that case there, the turnover was forced, and well, if you're a Surfers Paradise fan, you'd be very happy because they're able to get a goal out of nothing.
So Ireland gets the tap down. Woodburn floated through, couldn't pick it up. Here's Nichols. Off to his teammate Sullivan. Long ball inside the 50. Big pack of players. Can Labrador get a man at ground level? They can't. Doran. Clever handball, but it overshot Leah Campchi, who went back to pick it up. And sends it out towards half-back looking for Ireland. Ireland got front position, had it knocked away from him. Doran did the work at ground level. His handball put his man there under pressure. That was Faulkner. Well, Coombs is in there. That's a really strong, aggressive tackle. And it's going to be a free kick paid against the Demons.
There's a little bit of tension, and we're not surprised about this, Jack.
Luke Coombs, he's been the instigator most of the day for Labrador. He's shown a lot of fight here. And that was a strong tackle on Kate Gregory. He was just ridden into the ground. Real rough tackle. So Gregory keeps it low as he goes inside forward 50. And filling the hole was Doran, who cocked it. Nichols got it across. Starting to get a little bit testy out there between the two sides. Halftime siren has sounded, and at halftime, Calibre Homes Oval for round 13 match of the day. Surfers Paradise holding a 45-point advantage as they head into the long break. We will take a quick break and be back for the third quarter action, Yendi. At halftime, it is Surfers Paradise leading 64 to the Labrador Tigers 19. We'll be back.
You need a strong team. At TPIL Lawyers, we rise above the pack. When it comes to your total and permanent disability and compensation claims, choose TPIL, the personal injury lawyers. Kicking goals for Queenslanders since 1983. TPIL Lawyers, proud partner of AFL Queensland.
Hello and welcome back to Calibre Homes Oval on the Gold Coast for the QAFL match of the day. Thanks to our proud partners, TPIL Lawyers. My name is Jack Fulham. With me on the gantry this afternoon, the voice of Queensland football, Chris Yeend. And we saw, well, a pretty one-sided first half here at Calibre Homes Oval. The Surfers Paradise Demons taking a 45-point lead into the main break. 10-4-64, the Labrador Tigers 2-7-19. Yendi, before the second half gets underway, just your initial thoughts from that first half of football.
It was a quality half of football from Surfers Paradise. But I want to get into a quick around the grounds. Palm Beach Currumbin are currently giving Noosa a bit of a touch-up, but the great man, Rock the Casbolt, Levi Casbolt, has got 11 of 16 goals for Palm Beach Currumbin.
Levi's kicked 11.
He's kicked 11, and it's about 16 minutes into the final turn. That was the early game, so I thought I had to jump in there. We know Connor Stackelberg was kicking a few goals for Aspley. I haven't got an updated tally on him, but Levi Casbolt, 11 of 16 for Palm Beach Currumbin. They are giving Noosa, I think they lead Noosa by about 9 goals heading into full time. So there's a round the grounds update.
The longest Noosa to Palm Beach, the longest road trip in the QAFL. Back here at Calibre Homes Oval, we are underway for the third quarter. It'll be Ireland doing the ruck work against Mackenzie Bristow. Neither ruckman able to get a hand on it. Woodburn came up with it. Coombs threw his body into the contest, wrapped up by Alice Yeoman. The ball's gone all of 2 metres. We'll have another ball up. So Ireland again. Bristow getting up and getting the tap. Coombs fashions a kick forward inside the 50. And the first man to read it off the boot, Surfers Paradise, is Anderson. We'll have it from half back. He goes short and finds Ireland on the corner of the square at half back. He's got a runner on now, and they're going to go long through the middle of the ground into the centre square. That's a strong mark taken by your man Lucas Snowball, who had some nice moments in the first half. Snowball to the flank on the edge of 50, coming at it was Patton. He couldn't gather. Labrador clear it out of defence, but only as far as LB Jones, who looks into the middle of the ground. Here's Snowball again. He's going to go further across the ground and find Anderson. Anderson from just behind the centre circle. Called to play on now, and steers it into the middle of the ground and finds Jackson Shea. So Shea on the edge of the square tries it inside 50. This will land about 20 metres out. Fly at the footy from Jewell, and it's going to be a free kick. It's going to go the Labrador way.
So that was some good, strong defensive work there by Luke Coombs. They look to bring the ball out towards the commentary. It was a haphazard kick out towards Harry Sullivan, who's had a wonderful season for the Southern Tigers in 2025. He sends the ball up to Bristow through the corridor. This is where they have to be industrious here, the Tigers. Coombs runs himself into some good form with a kick up towards high half forward. Marshall nudges his man underneath the ball. He's caught on his favourite side. He's taken over the boundary line there from Broadbent. And we'll see a boundary throw in. I just want to see Labrador run in more numbers. We're seeing more one-on-one contests right around the ground. I'd like to see them start to build that wall across half forward here, Jack, because they need to stop any penetration from Surfers Paradise, who cleared the ball from half back to half forward too easily.
And Surfers Paradise being the only team today content to use the middle of the ground. Labrador have been skirting wide on a lot of occasions. There's Greenwood to Woodburn, back to Greenwood, fumbled the handball, taken in a good tackle by Derrington. It comes back to Ireland, who just hoofs it along the line. That's going to be out on the full. Oh, almost got a touch here in the gantry. Dropped just in front of me.
I'll get you in the Supercoach team, mate.
It's Isaac Main who will take the free kick. Load up a Tory. No, he's going to go with a short drop punt. And well played. He's hit a man on the chest. That was Bristow. So Bristow's got it just in front of the Labrador interchange bench.
Better start here from the Tigers.
It's been lively. Bristow, high long ball. It'll drop just inside the 50. Marshall coming across. Demons at the fall of the footy. Mancham laid a good tackle on Neeson. Will have a ball up just inside the 50, Yendi.
So again, they're just not building up that wall here, Labrador. There's all one-on-ones around this contest, and one-on-ones to the right of your screen at the moment. So Woodburn just on his opposite foot, looking for Doran, who's well spoiled there by Field. Very well worked, great job there by Mason as Doran tries to get the ball out under enormous pressure. Umpire allowing this to go momentarily. And Jewel just slips off the back of the pack here, hopefully hoping to draw some attention. We've got 4 and 4 to your right and very much the same to your left inside the respective 50s. Bounced away from Woodburn and Godlewski wrapped up, and we'll see a stoppage round about 60 metres out from Labrador's goal.
So a bit of a stalemate to start the third quarter. Ticked over 4 minutes played. Greenwood took it out. His handball was picked off by Coombs, who was taken in a strong tackle by a couple of demons. Woodburn one of those, and we'll have another stoppage. What do you reckon the message was from Labrador coach Chris Rourke at halftime, Yandy, to his team? Trailed 45 points at the main break.
Just play a lot more one-on-one attacking footy. Take a few more risks.
So LB Jones in his back pocket fumbling, picks the footy up now under a lot of pressure. His handball overshot his man Darby Scott, went in there for Labrador, put his head over the football, taken in strong tackle by a couple of demons. It'll be a ball up 20 metres out from the Labrador goal, kicking to the left of your screen in this third quarter. It's been a promising start. They're throwing their bodies in at the contest. There's a free kick, ruck infringement. It's going to go the way of the big man Ireland. Just too big and strong in the ruck for his opposite number, Riley Coombs. Switches it across goal where Broadbent has it. Broadbent plays on now. He's got a runner. He wants to look central. They end up going up the line, looking for Lear Camchi, who gathered. And they're away here out the back. Kick towards half forward, looking for King. Bounced in front of him, and Sullivan did well, picked it up. And he's got a man on. They're on the burst here, Labrador. They're working down this outer side of the ground. Flying through for the handball was Bristow, who goes inside forward 50. Mark's been taken. Strong mark from Darrington, 45 metres out from home.
Well, that's just the great run and carry that we know this Labrador team can do. They've got those short runners, so they've got the speed, they've got the endurance. They kind of lack size around the ground, so they're using that strength there, their advantage, just quick, fast-paced football on the outer side, finding their teammates in loose space, and Darrington, who is a very, very handy man to have around goals, has a shot.
So Darrington, he crosses the arc now. I don't think distance will be a problem. He struck it pretty nicely. Labrador have the first of the third quarter. So if there were going to be any hope in this one, they needed to kick it. And Darrington is the man for the job. Kicks his first. Labrador 3-7-25. They trail Surfers Paradise 10-4, 64, 39-point margin at Calibre Homes Oval on TPIL Lawyers Match of the Day. Chris Yeen.
And we are on Levi Casbolt watch. The current Palm Beach Currumbin do lead Noosa by about 13 goals. Casbolt has kicked 12 of 17. We've just hit time on, so that is the
big Leviticus.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest tally we've seen so far this year, and I expect that result. And
across his career, not known for deadly accurate bags of goals. So this is a real outlier from Big Levi. He was good last week in the massive win over Sherwood, bringing that form to the sunny coast.
Well, they lost Tom Hickey last year to retirement, and they've found a likely type in a replacement there in Levi Casbolt, who finished up at the Suns last year. But we'll turn our attention here, and it is game on. 39 points the margin. We have seen a game high of 46. And the Tigers, they've just lifted up their intensity now. You've just got that feel around the ground at present, and that's not being overly ambitious with that either. As we see another stoppage.
I love the attack on the football there from Godlewski, who just came charging in off the point of the square and threw his body at the contest. Couldn't work it free, but was good enough to force a stoppage.
Free kick to Ireland, Cora Shepherd, who come out to the commentary ring looking for Shea and try and get on his favourite foot. He's out-muscled beautifully there by Harry Sullivan. A kick up towards high half forward. It'll bounce in favour of the Tigers. Bounce very, very well. Marshall puts his head over the ball. Umpire was blindsided of any potential high contact. Surfers with a kick along the boundary line. Shea takes the mark and runs up the corridor now. Falls in his lap. Just thumps the ball onto his boot. Hopes for the bounce. Ricochets off the chest of the defender there from Labrador. Shea inadvertently taken down behind play. Labrador, they've backed themselves into a bit of chaos. Going up was Mason Field. He has his head taken off, and we'll see a free kick to the Tigers across half-back.
He's a small player, Mason Field, but he's got a lot of heart. Strong contest, shocking kick. Cam Ellis-Yeoman came and picked it off, looks into the middle of the ground looking for more. That kick just as bad, and it was picked off by Hoy. I think his first touch of the day, Hoy. He goes long towards 50. It was knocked away by the Demons. Here comes Woodburn, streaming through the middle of the ground. He's got men on in the middle. One of those was Lucas Snowball, Yeendy's man, who backs back off the mark now. Goes to centre half forward where Ellis-Yeoman has led up, still inside the centre square. He'll want to send this one more direct. He goes inside 50 where a man's got free. And taking a mark, 40 out. And going back to have the shot at goal is Woodburn.
He just got himself in a really good spot there, Woodburn, and they've been able to find a lot of targets surface paradise from that sort of 35 to 40 metres out from goal. And sometimes, Jack, it's better off than blazing away. Just find that shorter target as opposed to creating a potential contest for the opposition deep inside the 50.
So Woodburn in search of his second. On approach now, he makes good contact with it. He has put it right through the middle. So the margin extends again. Ben Woodburn gets his second. The Surface Paradise Demons are out to a 45-point lead. 11-4-70. Labrador Tigers 3-7-25. 10 minutes played, third quarter at Calibre Homes Oval. TPIL Lawyers match of the day. Round 13 QAFL action. Yandy, have we got Levi Watch? What's Levi Casbolt up to?
I'm just having a look at Connor Stackelberg at the moment. He's kicked 7 goals for Aspley. There hasn't been much of a change there on Levi Watch. He's been well restricted, but there are a few other cracking games going on thanks to Bradham's Windows and Doors. Morningside lead Maroochydore by a point. Broadbeach leads Sherwood by 27 points. And, there's an upset brewing. Wilston Grange, 77. I cannot believe that. Leading Redland Victoria, point 21. They lead that by 56 points as Cam Ellis-Yeoman handballs back in board to Doran. Doran takes a little bit off the kick, finds Axel Moore, and he'll go back. And he should go and have a shot on goal. But Wilston Grange leading Redland Victoria point by 56 points early in the third term as Surface Paradise up and up.
What has gone on there?
I watched them in the second half last week in the loss to Broadbeach, and they didn't show enough to suggest that they were going to beat one of the premier teams in the competition and beat them emphatically. Turn our attention back here though. Surface Paradise with another big shot on goal, another set shot, which they've got plenty of them, and that is a beautiful finish. That's a stunning finish there by Mitch Patton, and he kicks another one, and they lead by game-high margin, 51 points, thanks to TPIL Lawyers and Bradham's Windows and Doors.
Well, as we talked on just a little bit earlier, Surfers using the ball very well when they go inside forward 50, lowering the eyes, hitting those short kicks. But it's all well and good to have the game plan to execute short kicks, but you still need to go out there and execute them. And they've just been able to find so many free men in space. A lot of Labrador defenders getting sucked up the ground and getting caught out the back.
We don't have the stats, Jack, but it'll be fascinating to see how many marks inside forward 50 the D's have taken and how many of them would be uncontested, because there's been a stack of them.
There would be 10 plus. Oscar Wood into the ruck to do battle against Pearce. It was Pearce that won the hit out. Nichols tracking it at ground level. Coombs will send the Tigers into attack. High up and under ball. Big pack of players. Demons coming across. Here's LB Jones at ground level. Got a handball to Broadbent. They're going to get out of danger and go up the line. Broadbent's kick is cut off by Bailey Brown for the Tigers. So Brown at half-back swings it into the centre of the ground to Nichols on the point of the square. He sold some candy and now shows a clean pair of heels from outside 50. Goes long. The kick is not going to have the legs. And Wood getting back on the last line, takes the mark. He's got a man out on the broadcast side. It's Chapman. Chapman can turn and go, take a bounce along the wing, goes in search of Greenwood. Too big, too strong here, Greenwood. Stuck the arms up, had Snowball on the flyby. Snowball goes inside forward 50, and that's a strong mark taken by Jewell. brilliant ball movement from Surfers Paradise, one end of the ground to the other. And Jewel.
That all started from Oscar Wood taking the mark on the last line of defence at the other end of the ground there, Jack.
So Jewel, he doesn't look confident that he's got the journey. He's going to set this one to the hot spot where Alice Yeoman is flying across, and the mark's been taken. Strong grab. Who was it? It was coming across in front of the pack.
Is that Patton?
I think it was Hugh Greenwood.
Oh, it is.
It was Yeoman was there, and so was Patton, and Hugh Greenwood, the jack in the pack. Greenwood from 15 metres out. I don't think he'll have too many troubles with this one. Directly in front.
This will be the best look and closest look they've had all day from their set shots, which they've had plenty.
It'll be to make it a 57-point margin and Kicky's first of the day. Greenwood just pokes it through. Another goal for the Demons. It's 57 points. This game's starting to get out of hand for the Labrador Tigers. It's 13-4, 82 Surfers Paradise Labrador, 3-7-25. 14 and a half minutes played third quarter on TPIL Lawyers. Match of the day for the QAFL.
Well, 11 of their 13 goals have come from set shots. They've kicked a staggering 11-4 from 15 set shots. It's remarkable. I've only just started taking these stats. It's my first day on the job in that sense, Jack, after many games of
good
calling.
Day to do it.
It is, and this has been just an exhibition. And they're getting so many good looks. It's frightening.
And just also the aerial ability around the ground. You know, you've got these, even these big midfielders, blokes like Alice Yeoman, Greenwood, they're just so good in the air and they make you pay. And here they come through the middle again, Yeedy.
Yeah, field handballs dangerously back into the corridor, but they can manufacture something here. The Labrador has a wonderful tackle there from Snowball. They'll take the play on advantage now. Here's an opportunity over the top. Alice Yeoman turns his opponent inside out, right foot, check side kick, looking for, not finding Doran in that instance. A rare drop mark inside the forward 50 there for the D's. And we'll see a stoppage, 15 and a half gone.
That was such clever play from Alice Yeoman. He could have blazed away and had a shot on goal, just poked it over the top with the outside of the boot. And Doran, he dropped the easiest part.
I'm surprised he didn't go on his left foot, but Alice Yeoman almost cleared the ball out. There was a lovely smother there from Labrador. They've got some space running through the corridor if they can create it here, and they do now. Handball over the top now. It's through the leg there of Luxton. Picked off there nicely here on through Darrington. Darrington with a kick up towards centre half forward under immense pressure. Turns his man inside out. Marshall. Here's a chance. Labrador with a booming left foot kick. This is in the book. That is a wonderful finish by Joshua Young. He pulled the trigger and finished with class. And it doesn't matter how less frequently you get them, something like that can just tighten the screws up a bit, Jack, and build some momentum for your footy team.
How was that finish from Josh Young? Couple of steps, left foot, bang.
That's amazing.
Beautiful strike of the football.
Just want to praise Darrington as well. He's a good young player coming through the Queensland footy at the moment. He was under a fair bit of pressure, but he did enough just to get boot to ball. And then Marshall as well. He's had his hands in a couple of goals, having kicked a few himself, and been able to just put his body in that right position there, freed up Young to finish that one. It's a good finish, and it started from half back, and they're able to finish at the other end.
Yeah, they have shown a lot of effort, and especially some of their smaller, more diminutive players, guys like Field, Darrington. They've thrown their bodies into the contest as we're back underway. Pierce came up with the footy, beat a couple of tacklers, now goes with a handball to Field. It was just mown down by Shea. Strong tackle. We'll have a ball up, but Field will get up feeling that one. Although he's popped straight back to his feet, the kid in the lid. So Brown tapped down. Alice Yeoman came through the centre of the contest. Picked it up, cleared it out to the far side of the ground. Here's Doran sending them inside 50 again. Doran looking for Wood. Could have got a free kick for a hold. Not going to be paid. Fall of the pack was Faulkner. Faulkner's wrapped up. We'll have a ball up, 40 out.
And we're nearing full-time. Palm Beach, well, it is full-time. Palm Beach, Currumbin, 22-15, 147. Defeated Noosa 7-5-47 by 100 points.
They're starting to look scary. How many goals for Levi?
Well, you know Anthony Hudson, mate, so I think that
13,
gives it in.
13! A ball on the broadcast side. Escorting it across the line was Luxon.
They kicked 8 goals in the last quarter, Palm Beach. So
To do that on the road, they're tricky to beat up at Noosa, the Noosa Tigers, and it just shows what a dangerous force they are in season 2025, the Palm Beach Currumbin Lions. Back here at Calibre Homes Oval, it's the Surfers Paradise Demons holding a 51-point lead.
Comes out now looking for Doran, as Patton will see it out of bounds. But now we're looking at, we look at Surfers and Palm Beach Currumbin and Broad Beach. It's a nice day for Gold Coast footy, isn't it?
It is. Well, Gold Coast is the powerhouse of Queensland football, and it is amazing, isn't it, that you have these highly successful local clubs. You have Southport, who have played in a VFL a couple of VFL Grand Finals, haven't they? Doing so well. These powerhouse local clubs, yet the professional team on the Gold Coast has struggled for most of its existence. It's a weird paradox.
I try to preach that to those back in the footy capital in Victoria, that it's the senior team, the AFL men's team that's struggling, but we're not seeing that here. It's a lovely kick here from Ireland up towards the corridor. Some sharp work executed there by Brown, who was stripped of it. And Gold Coast in the VFL had a rare win today. They edged out Casey Scorpions, who were, the Casey Demons, who had a stacked AFL line.
Still the Casey Scorpions to me.
Yeah, exactly. Good old Springvale.
So Wood doing the ruck work. The ground level, Alice Yeoman, Woodburn in there. Alice Yeoman's going to be pinged for incorrect disposal. Free kick will go the way of Nichols for Labrador. And Woodburn wants to argue the issue. Not much to argue over.
Haven't seen an umpire change their mind just yet, Jack.
No, they're not prone to it. So Nichols on the half-back flank. He's got a man on over the top. That's Sullivan. Sullivan had to sit in the hole, took the mark, and now he's got Nichols with the fly-by. No, Main in fact. Main's looping handball over the top to Scott. Put Egan under pressure. Young went in to lay a strong tackle, and we'll have a ball up on the edge of the square, broadcast side wing. And the trainers are being called out for Woodburn. It's been a fair bit of pain.
I wonder whether he's copped a corky there. To the right quad there as
he's straight back to his feet, so the trainer's going to have to stand down. Ireland got the hit out. The line came in. He's wrapped up. We'll have another ball up.
He's got that left knee just below his left knee strapped up. So Woodburn up against Hoy in that instance as Doran paddles the ball over the top. Lovely work there by Fraser. Back to Doran, running through the corridor now. Ireland, who's been sensational. Saw Chapman out of the corner of the eye, spent it before he had it. Had something to worry about there with Godolewski hot on his hammer. Recovered well, but turned the ball over. Here comes Darrington. Darrington with a booming kick up towards high half forward. Was looking for and not being able to find Stevens in that instance. And we'll see a boundary throw in, 55 out from goal.
That was a form from Luke Chapman. He broke his own ankles.
You don't see players doing that themselves these days, do you? Please someone turn that into a TikTok. I'd love to see that.
So we'll have a ball in, edge of the 50, Labrador into attack. Ireland doing the ruck work up against Bristow. Young tracking the ball close to the boundary line, picks it up, beats a tackle. Handball was too hot for Sullivan to handle. And Luxon works it out across the line. So we'll have a throw in front of the interchange gauge, right in front of our commentary gantry here at Calibre Homes Oval. It's been a beautiful day on the Gold Coast. A little bit nippy. It's the home team holding a 51-point lead. 22 and a quarter minutes played, third quarter.
We're on Connor Stackelberg watch at the moment. Aspley lead Mount Gravatt by 97 points, 14 minutes into the third. Stackelberg has 8 as the Southern Tigers go inside the forward 50. They've got an opportunity here as the Anderson kick will fall in the lap. Well, not quite there at Godleski. Had a bit of time to recover, wrapped up Albie Jones beautifully. So it was a good recovery there from the number 2 there for the Tigers. A thumping kick out of there from Hamish Anderson. Looking for Greenwood, out-muscled there by the Tigers. Ireland lays a bone-crunching tackle. Nichols with the spin away, kicks it straight into Jaden Young. Ricochets out to Greenwood. Kamal Solomon, there's no one from 0 to 40, so he can just let the ball talk, and that's what he does. He's got Patton there, who's been in some very good form. He didn't make contact. Patton now tries to shug off the would-be tackler. Lovely kick up towards the corridor. Was looking for Jewell. Couldn't quite find him. Here comes Field. He's wrapped up there by Greenwood. G-A-W-N. Gone. Free kick. Huey Greenwood, he'll have a shot at goal number 2. That's good stuff.
Yeah, just intense pressure from Surfers Paradise and Field. He didn't do much wrong. He gathered it. But as soon as he gathered it, he had Hugh Greenwood to deal with and just couldn't get a clean disposal.
I like that work there from Patton as well. He gathered the ball with one hand and did very well to fend off his opponent with the other, and then was able to centre the ball on his opposite foot as well. And Greenwood, who has been outstanding, one of his better games in the TPIL Lawyers competition this year. And he's just snuck it home. And the D's, they extend their lead back out to an equal game-high lead, 57 points, 24 minutes gone here in the term, thanks to TPIL Lawyers and Bradnam's Windows and Doors. You've got Jack, you've got Harry, you've got Yendi, and most importantly, we've got your company on Saturday afternoon at Footy Match of the Day.
And it is great to have you with us. And big shout-out, if you missed it at the start of the quarter, the state game, Yendi. Queensland taking on Tasmania.
It's going to be box
next
office.
Saturday. You can watch it on YouTube. They're going to name the final squad of 24 or 25 to make the trip down in a couple of days' time. This is going to be fantastic. It was a great game last year on home soil in Queensland. We're travelling down to Latrobe, which is northwest Tasmania, a rural part of Tasmania for this game. Beautiful oval down there, great scenery. If you can tune in, this one is going to be a beauty, so make sure you do.
And there's a lot of players this weekend, Jack, are actually playing for their spots because that's how hotly contested. I've spoken to a few players and they've said that they're carrying a few niggles, but they have to play today to be considered a chance.
So Coombs picked the footy up, was just hassled out of it by Woodburn. Young put his head over it, came up with it, got it to Nichols. Nichols looks broadcast side where he's got a man on. That man is Bailey Brown, who's been good in this third quarter. Coombs ran on and takes the mark at half forward. Coombs, he's got limited options. He just steers a kick in to the point of the square. Darrington, who's also lifted in the third quarter. Darrington drives a sharp, chiseling ball. Was too hot to handle, but it's going to be a free kick going the way of Zach Marshall, who was dealt with from behind. And Marshall, from 40 metres out, 45-degree angle, go back for his third.
Just quick around the grounds, thanks to TPIL Lawyers. Wilston Grange 12-8-80 lead Redland Victoria Point 5-5-35 by 45 points. And
wow.
Joaquin Mifsud, the captain for the Gorillas, he's kicked 4 goals.
So Zach Marshall, for his third of the day, he makes good contact, but it's fading late. It was always left-hand side. He just couldn't work it back. And another minor score for the Tigers. So Surfers Paradise 14-4-88. Labrador Tigers 4-8-32. 56-point margin. 26.5 minutes played third quarter on TPIL Lawyers Match of the Day.
I was just having a look at the Sharks lineup. They've got a pretty good lineup in there too. Matty Hellman's kicked 2 of their handful of goals. So they've got some firepower. But we've got firepower here for Surfers. They're looking to go coast to coast. Doran now pulls the trigger from 48 metres out from goal. That is a wonderful kick that just pulls away to the right, and Lucas Snowball is screaming for it to the veteran, saying, I was right there all alone. But
your man Snowball.
Look, he's had a good day, Lucas.
He has. He's been sharp. So Labrador from full back ends up on the chest of Brown. He's got a runner. They go long towards the boundary line. Young got up high, took a good mark at half back. He looks inboard, finds Nichols, who's been a good driver forward for Labrador in this third quarter. Clever kick, finds Darby Scott in front of our commentary gantry here, broadcast wing. Scott moves it on quickly, goes looking for Marshall, who worked off his man, took a really good mark. We're looking for Deegan. The handball a little bit too hot to handle. Deegan had to go back. Handball to Marshall, who managed to keep it in. Went to the top of the goal square, was knocked away. Surfers Paradise come in. The cavalry arrives to help out Chapman, and we'll have a ball up, 35 out from the Tigers' goal.
Well, I know Labrador are missing a couple of their stars, but I'm still genuinely surprised about the result that we're seeing so far today. These two teams at full strength. It's not a 57-point margin. I feel that it's a genuine, closest, hard-fought contest. So this is definitely not fitting of what these two teams are capable of, particularly of Labrador. But they've got the ball locked away in their forward line. They've competed, particularly in this third term. Now, there won't be too much longer to go. There's plenty of numbers around this contest, but what I like about Labrador at the moment is they're able to peel off just a couple of players just off the back, just building that wall. When the ball comes out, and a hazardous kick, it goes straight back in, and a free kick for a Shepherd. It will go to Labrador, and they'll have a shot on goal out of a tiring, hard rock-hard ruck contest. Less is best there, I think, Jack. That's what I've been. That's what I've been told, but I've gone on a little bit too much there. But this is
it happens to all of us. Lewis Deegan, the set shot. His young play came in. It was a listed emergency. Came in late.
This would be a lovely finish if he can kick it, and he takes it to the near side. Jack, I'm going to sound old school because I'm a lot older than you, mate. But I reckon the drop punt, just stick with it. No need to do that.
That's the way of the modern game. The round the corner as LB Jones takes the charity yardage on offer. Just drives this one into the centre square. Alice Yeoman had it knocked away from him. Greenwood, clever hands to Alice Yeoman. Now they've got runners over the top. One of them is Doran. Goes inside forward 50 looking for Wood. Had first hands on it. Couldn't complete the mark. Tracking it out for Labrador. Here's Brown. And Robinson even. And sees it across the boundary line. Yandy wants insufficient intent. That's not going to be paid.
Well, I'm standing up here in my umpire's top,
mate. He's got his umpire shirt on.
We're going to have a bit of a say in that just quietly.
As Will Broadbent comes to the line for Surfers for a breather. Ball back into play.
Probably the only time I'll disagree with the umpires. I love their work.
Ireland doing the ruck work against Bristow. Kick to the point of the square. They go forward through Fraser, who went to the top of the square, and Oscar Wood. Strong mark. We'll have a shot 35 out.
Well, we're getting to see the best of Oscar Wood because he's been dominating up in the forward half. He's going for, I think, goal number 4.
Yeah, this will be for goal number 4, but we haven't seen a hell of a lot of him since you gave him a big rap deep into the second quarter. He's been quiet in the third.
Because he said...
So we're just going to calm it down on Oscar. We're just going to let him go about his work.
No pressure.
Not put too much expectation on the young man, but look at him as he jogs in. He's got a very fluid kicking motion, and that is perfect off the boot from Oscar Wood. 4 goals on the day. He's been a star. Surface Paradise, 15-5-95. Labrador, 4-9-33. The margin 62 points, 31 minutes played, third quarter at Calibre Homes Oval for TPIL Lawyers Match of the Day. Great finish.
I'm going to stand corrected. That is 14 of their 15 goals, Jack, from set shots.
From the set shot. They love a set shot.
Yeah, that includes free kicks because they've taken set shots from those free kicks. So they've kicked... They've done a very good job of it. Let's just put it that way.
So you've done a very good job of collating the stats.
sorry, I lied.
I'm hard pressed trying to keep up with who's kicked goals.
So have I. I've just thrown that book out. It's 13 of 15, so apologies there. But 13 of their 15 goals have come from set shots. They've kicked 13 goals for, and they've had a career day really for this season's best performance. Surface Paradise as Labrador try and work their way out across half back. Cheeky kick off the side of the boot. Finds his teammate. There's Brown up towards field. Who marks strongly in front of Chapman. And that's a three-quarter time, Jack.
Yeah, we've got that siren right next to us that's just... it's going to send me deaf soon enough. I'm pretty much deaf. But at three-quarter time, it is the home team. The Surface Paradise Demons holding a 62-point lead over their local rivals, Labrador. 15-5-95 to 4-9-33. We will take a quick break and be back with all the last quarter actions on TPIL Lawyers Match of the Day, QAFL.
You need a strong team. At TPIL Lawyers, we rise above the pack. When it comes to your total and permanent disability and compensation claims, choose TPIL, the personal injury lawyers. kicking goals for Queenslanders since 1983. TPIL Lawyers, proud partner of AFL Queensland.
Welcome back to Calibre Homes Oval on the Gold Coast for the TPIL Lawyers match of the day between Surfers Paradise and Labrador at three-quarter time. Surfers Paradise holding a 62-point lead over their local rivals. Chris Yeend is on the gantry with me. Yeendy, it's been fantastic calling all the action today. Let's have a look at some of the around-the-ground scores from the other QAFL matches this afternoon.
Palm Beach Currumbin 100-point winners over Noosa in the early game. Morningside currently lead Maroochydore 55-46 by 9 points. Aspley 140 lead Mount Gravatt 43. Mount Gravatt have put a couple of goals on the board. Broadbeach lead Sherwood by 31 points. And we're going to write Redland Victoria point off, but Wilston Grange 86 lead Redland Victoria point 53. So it's they've in the it's nearing the end of three-quarter time, but the Sharks have kicked 5 goals to 1. They trailed by 56 points at half time. That margin's been cut back to 33. So I feel that the Sharks, they might be coming back in what might be one of the upsets of the season.
Certainly on the cards, back here at Calibre Homes Oval. It's the home team, 62 points up. Island knocked it down. Moore came up with the football, was wrapped up by Nichols, and we'll have another stoppage. So, what do you want to see in this last quarter from Labrador, ED?
You want to see them take the game on and run the risk of losing by a lot.
Ball's come out to King. King wheeling around on the right foot, had a shot at goal, just couldn't get it to come back. First score of the quarter goes the way of the Demons, 15-6-96. Labrador 4-9-33. The margin 63 points.
Yeah, I just want to see Labrador just play some more attacking football, and that's what they're trying to do through the corridor now. They've turned the ball over inside the forward 50, through the outstretched arms there of Oscar Wood there for the D's. Well done there by the Labrador defence, just squeezing a kick out, but it only go as far as Luxton. Luxton, the left footer, he's been told to go long, so he finds his teammate now who will do that instead. Looking it up towards the top of the square, there's Oscar Wood again.
Your man.
Oh, and this is, Jack, I don't hide the fact that I spend most weekends calling VFL football, and I get a good look at these academy kids, and I just feel a sense of pride seeing a player like Oscar Wood and Lucas Snowball playing some VFL footy, called their first kicks in VFL footy, and then they're coming in and making a great impact here.
It is amazing the level of talent that is coming out of the AFL pathways now. Like, we know the academies have always been there. Sorry,
Oscar Wood. And he has kicked himself a 5-pack here. He has put the margin back over 100. So Oscar Wood has a career best, I think, of 5 goals, Jack, in a wonderful performance. Kicked 3 in the first quarter, and he's kicked 1 in the third, and now 1 in the last.
And just to go back to the point I was trying to make earlier on, before Oscar rudely interrupted us by kicking a goal.
How dare you?
The level of talent that is coming out of the academy pathways for both the Brisbane Lions and Gold Coast Suns is incredible. Because we know early days, especially the Gold Coast Academy, there were academy products that made it onto AFL lists, but they're probably at the lower end of the talent scale going into AFL. But now there are just elite talent coming out of every bit of the Gold Coast Academy pathway, and guys like Oscar Wood are coming back to local level and just making the QAFL a stronger competition, as Nichols will send Labrador inside forward 50. Marshall got out the back, coming across with Broadbent. Fantastic spoil. Field came up with the football, managed to evade a tackle, beat one, had a shot on goal. Mason Field, the kid in the lid, couldn't get it to stick on course. Would have been a fantastic goal. Pushed it across to the left-hand side, and another minor score for Labrador. They're 14-34. Surfers Paradise 16-6-102. As we have some of the rowdy locals behind us.
I think it's going to catch on there, Jack. The kid with the lid as Woodburn squeezes it out now. Handball over the top, finds Albie Jones. Back out now to Woodburn on his opposite foot. Hugs the boundary line up towards high half. More the wing. Island was hoping to get possession of the ball. He's denied of that through a wonderful Bristow tackle. And we'll see a stoppage here on the commentary wing right in front of us here, thanks to TPIL Lawyers. Spent it before he had it here on the commentary wing and just corral himself towards the boundary line. Off a step, right foot kick, floated across, and it's taken here by Shea. Now Shea can kick the ball up towards centre half forward without too much effort. He takes a little bit off the kick on the half volley there to Doran. Back to Shea. Has options through the corridor now. Elects to go inboard now. Finds his teammate by hand. Greenwood. He'll have Young hot on his hammer. Force the turnover. Labrador with a kick up towards centre half forward. Marshall lays a heavy bump. Gives away the free kick. And we'll see a free kick to Surfers Paradise at centre half back.
So it was Zach Marshall colliding with Jackson Shea. Strong effort. When he knew he couldn't make a realistic play at the football, he just had to cover up Marshall because he was carrying a fair bit of pace. Belted into the mid-drift of Shea, who goes across his defensive 50 and finds Chapman. Chapman's got a runner on. It's Broadbent. Broadbent streaming down the outer side wing, goes looking for Leah Campchi, who did well, picked it up on the bounce, inside 50. Ball bounces in front of Doran, who gathered, got a handball off, and now they'll go top of the square. The free kick's been paid. I think it's going to go downfield.
Or did you run out of bounds?
May have run out of bounds.
They just run out of a little bit of tarmac, which is a shame because, shame for Surfers Paradise fans because Wood took the mark 15 metres out from goal uncontested.
So we'll have a throw in. 35 out from the Surfers goal. Kicking to the left of your screen in this last quarter. They hold a 68-point margin here at Calibre Homes Oval. Back into play, was taken out of the ruck by Wood, who just pinged it to the top of the goal square. Alice Yeoman working out the back, tapped it forward. Faulkner was in there. Now Labrador got their hands on the football, wrapped up in a strong tackle. We'll have a ball up, 40 out.
With the crew on the hill pleading, cheering for everything that comes their way. And they're hoping for more goals. The D's brigade as rucks go up, and Alice Yeoman gets it out now to Greenwood. Greenwood up towards the top of the square. Greenwood, that's a push in the back. It'll be a free kick to Labrador on the last line of defence. That should go to James Egan. Defensive 10. He'll spear the ball up the corridor. Finds Nichols, who's tried hard across half back to Egan. Has options out here on the commentary side. Fell over at the crucial stage, but fortunately had a teammate there in support. Darrington now like a slippery eel, darting in and out, just taking hits left, right and centre and finding a teammate who sends the ball out towards half-back. Lovely work here, just inadvertently took the high tackle, and it'll be a free kick to Labrador at left half-back.
So Sebastian Stevens, the man taken high, he goes close to the boundary line where he's got Sullivan. A 45-degree kick inboard. It was a shocker, picked off by Axel Moore. So Moore to the top of the goal square where Wood just got rid of a man, took another mark. And he's given away a free kick. I thought that was strong body work. The umpire does not agree with me. Labrador with the free kick. And here's Nichols. He can dash through the middle of the ground, runs outside his defensive 50 and now looks towards the outer side wing, floating back with the flight of the footy. That's a strong mark taken for the Demons by Michael Luxon, who gives to Broadbent, and they're going into attack again. Broadbent's kick bounced off the chest of Wood. Fall the ball was Gregory for Labrador. He sweeps a handball over the top to Robinson. Robinson goes back looking for Gregory. And now they're going to go inside 50, looking for Marshall, who was dragged to the ground. Which way is the free kick going to go? It's going to go the way of Surfers Paradise. LB Jones is the man that will take the kick.
Great work there by the veteran, showing his poise and class. Finds Chapman, having to flirt with danger across goals. Shea, a couple on out here on the commentary side. Lucas Snowball's just come on the ground. His meter's in the clear right in front of us. Woodburn on his opposite foot, and he'll get a free kick downfield. Doesn't matter, we'll go to Snowball. So Snowball now is quick to go. Handball's back inboard to Shea. Took his opponent head high in the form of Gregory. So Gregory now will just have to play on, get the ball up towards centre half forward. They've got to take a few risks here. Lee Campchi gets in the way. He's impeded. So it will be a free kick to Labrador. Just haven't got any options. As Broadbent standing alone. Defensive 20. So he's going to hog up that space a fair bit. Hoy inside the forward 50. Great defensive work there by the D's. Here comes Field. Field hard up on the boundary line. He couldn't kick this, could he? No, he can't. He put it up to the top of the square and Surfers mark almost unopposed, and they will get a 50-metre penalty to boot.
We've got a Tiger down behind play. I think it's Bristow. Riley Coombs, in fact, must be a bit of cramp. To Surfers on the wing, LB Jones. He's found a man at half forward. I think that's Patton. Go inside 50, looking for Wood. Came across, got hands to it, couldn't complete the mark. Labrador with a couple of men back. Working there was Jewel. Labrador have come up with it. They're going to get out of danger. The kick was picked off by Shea. Shea's handball. He gets it back now. Just scrubs it to the top of the square. Jewel working in there. Labrador come up with it again. Kick trying to go outside of defensive 50 has been marked by Michael Luxon. About 40 metres out, and Luxon will have another shot at goal.
I like his game today, Luxton. One of the better games he's played this year. He's played more of a sort of a defensive winger, defensive almost half forward at times. He's had quite a number of touches, but a goal here would be fitting for the reward because he has blocked many advances that Labrador have made out of the defensive half of the ground.
So Luxon on approach now, slightish angle, makes good contact with it, but he's pushed it across to the right-hand side. Another minor score. So Surfers Paradise 16-8, 104. They lead the Tigers 4-10-34 by 70 points. 10 minutes played last quarter at Calver Holmes Oval for TPIL Lawyers match of the day.
And it is a game-high lead, 70 points. So for those joining us, it's rather a surprise. Labrador kicked the first 2 points of the game, and then Surfers Paradise put the foot down, all thanks to, largely thanks to Oscar Wood, as Doran sells it out now to Moore. Kick put up towards half forward. Taken here nicely there by Gregory. Loops it over the top of the field. Hasn't stopped trying. Right throughout the game, one of the young guns. Back to Gregory. Back in board now to Sullivan. Sullivan with a kick up towards Darrington. The ball bounces unfortuitously there for the directed target. Jones off a step, left foot kick. Threads the eye of the needle. Fraser went up with the one hand. Probably should have gone the two, but who am I to talk? He's been an outstanding leader today. Chopped off here by Woodburn. Hits the ground running. Right foot kick. This is going to be slingshot footy at its finest now. It's taken on board here by King. King plays on now. Right foot kick to Alice Yeoman. Was he pushed? Umpire said, yep, free kick, and he'll have a shot on goal from about 40 out directly in front.
Beautiful ball movement through the middle of the ground, and it was all set up from that perfect kick from Woodburn to King at half forward, and King was able to just wheel around and go looking for the freight train.
Yeah, he was unstoppable.
He's got a bit of late career Fraser Garrick about him at the moment, Cam Ellis-Yeoman. He's just a big man.
Well, we are, as fans of the QAFL footy, we are privileged to be in the position where we can enjoy watching him kick goals, and that is no exception there. He's kicked another one. We're out to a game-high lead, 76 points, and that is a staggering 15 of 17 goals from set shots, and most of them, Jack, a lot of them have been to the left hand of your screen. A lot of them have been down almost directly in front. They have been so good with their kicks inside the 50.
They have, and no shortage of forwards lining up to take those kicks. They found plenty of space, and an undersized and undermanned Labrador defence just found wanting today.
And they might have some injury concerns too, because I did see at three-quarter time Luke Coombs was hobbling off, and he hasn't been sighted since either. So I believe that they are at least one down, which is a shame for him because he's such an integral part of this team. Hopefully, whatever it is, it's only minor.
Ireland and Bristow doing the ruck work. Ireland roved his own ruck work, just wheeled around, did the full 360, got it to Moore. Moore wants to feed a handball to Leah Campchi, who goes wider towards half-back. Hoy did really well, came off his man, affected the spoil. All demons at the fall of the footy though, finding some space on the edge of the 50 was Patton, who goes inside forward 50. Strong mark taken by Jewell in the pocket. As Sam Jewell wants to play on quickly and try and find a man.
He's been told to just take the shot now from his teammates. Don't muck around.
Labrador have shut down all the options. Now, what do you want to see here? Do you want to see a drop punt from this angle, Yandy?
I would rather see a drop punt, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him go on his left.
Well, Sam's probably going to disappoint you. He's going to wheel around, and he's hit the belly of the ball.
If you go on
this
his left,
one will land in the goal square. Alice Yeoman just protected the space and took the mark and gives his man a little bit of how you going on the way through. And Big Cam for his third from the top of the goal square. Well, it's everything is coming up demons at the moment.
Was that the grand plan all along there, Jack? Do you think that just casually slew one off the side of the boot on his opposite foot?
Well, if it was flawlessly executed. So Alice Yeoman comes in, pokes it through. He's got three. The lead is out to 82 points. And we've still got probably, what do we play? 13 and a half, ticking up to 14 minutes. We've still probably got another 15, 16 minutes to travel in this one. It could get ugly for Labrador.
Well, they've kicked 3-2 to a point in this quarter, and it's only going to get worse, you'd feel, because you're just seeing a lot of the heads drop around Labrador. Still looking at the likes of Fields and Darrington, some of those younger kids. Gregory, they've never stopped, and even Zach Marshall. So maybe that's what I'd probably do now, Jack, is I'd probably throw Zach Marshall onto the ball and just give them that rough contested ball. Be that ball that they kind of lack at the moment. And he's playing deep inside that forward line at present, so that change hasn't taken place.
And just when you think your day can't get any worse, Hugh Greenwood has come onto the ground and he's going forward.
And he's kicked a couple as well. Hit there on Hoy, bounced off his opponent and laid a tackle immediately. I'm just seeing young Mason Field standing up against Luke Chapman, and there's quite a few inches in separation in the height department there. Maso would be quite familiar with that with a lot of people, a lot of opponents. There's a number of players burrowing their heads over the ball. A free kick for too high, so it will go to the D's. Greenwood will offer that option, and Alice Yeoman. And Jewel offers a lead now. So Woodburn has got an embarrassment of riches and decides to
360.
May as well do the hokey pokey while he's at it, as well as Hoy comes in, lays a tackle. We'll see a stoppage almost on centre wing out of sight.
I don't think that's how he planned it.
He did a full 360. He had no idea. I wouldn't be surprised if he was dizzy by the time he got rid of the ball.
So Ireland, here's Woodburn again. He left it behind. Moore wrapped up his opponent there. Labrador, they go forward, finding some space out the back is Stevens, who gathers the football and run down. Fantastic tackle by Chapman. Stevens had found some space at the back, but Chapman closed quickly and ran him down. Put his man under pressure with an errant kick. Moore goes in to pick it up. Here's Elby Jones, who goes across his half-back flank and finds Shea. So Shea with a short kick, barely the required. Finds King, who's moseyed up from his half-forward positioning. So King looks into the middle of the ground. Risky kick, but it comes off. Strong mark taken by Anderson. On the edge of the square, he's got a running Jones, who chips the kick. The kick's picked off by Deegan for Labrador. Deegan has it, centre circle. Plays on now, goes to the edge of the square. Anderson up against Field. Field did well to bring the ball to ground level. Getting back was Watts. Watts put his head over the football and was wrapped up by Field. It dribbles out to Sullivan, who finds a man, and they're going to run in and kick an open goal here through Darrington, who just tried to go with the handball over the top, and it's come a cropper. That is the story of Labrador's day. Darrington trying to be too unselfish and set up a teammate at the top of the square. He should have just gone himself.
He absolutely should have. And Jack, you've said on many occasions, they've often gone for that one handball too many. It's proven costly in that case there, as it's hacked out of there by Anderson. Falls in the lap of Coombs. Coombs now for the Tigers. Just bombs the ball in hope, and Ireland is parking front and centre if required. Strong tackle laid there on the Southern Tigers, and the umpire just allowing a little bit more time to go.
But even that entry there, it's to a 3-on-1 contest to a smaller man.
Quick around the grounds in the TPIL Lawyers competition. Connor Stackelberg has kicked 10. He's reached double figures. Repeating news earlier, Levi Casbolt kicked 13 goals for Palm Beach Currumbin in the win over Noosa.
Some big bags on display today. Sullivan overran the football. Field went back and got it. Overshot his man with the handball. Tracking it was Godlewski close to the boundary line. He's escorted across by your man Snowball. And we'll have a throw in front of the Surfers Paradise interchange gates.
It's exciting seeing some of the academy boys here, Jack, just coming down. I shouldn't say coming down, but getting some of that quality senior experience here in QAFL and in between representative duties. It's outstanding for them, and they're getting the chance to mature and evolve in front of our very eyes.
Ball back into play. It's thumped straight back over the line by Ireland, and boundary umpire will get to do his work again. Now Ireland is putting a commanding performance in the ruck. matched up against Jaden Young. Ireland gets front position again. Young gets the tap out. Greenwood in front of the pack. Moore's handball. Darby Scott couldn't keep it in, and we'll have another ball in.
Morningside 67, lead Maroochydore 52. Broadbeach 71, lead Sherwood 52. And it's a 34-point margin. Wilson Grange holding off Redland Victoria Point. And the Sharks, they made the comeback, but both of them are trade goals in the final term as Kai Nichols finds his teammate under a fair bit of pressure. Working really hard there was Moore. Handballs over the top, belted forward there by Harrison Fraser. Now it comes Gregory here for the Tigers. Puts it up towards high half forward, looking for a teammate on the stretch. Bounces unfortuitously there and full suit Chapman. The Tigers, though, with some extra numbers. Gregory darting around nicely there with the support of his teammate. In fact, that was Darrington over there. Sends the ball up towards the corridor. Umpire rightfully calls play on. Snowball now. They've got the ball moving. They've got runners through the corridor if they want to make it happen. The D's, and they do. They've got Oscar Wood, and Doran is sprinting on the ground, so he's going to be that loose forward inside the forward 50. They can get it out now. Alice Yeoman has got Doran screaming for it, absolutely yelling for it. Doran now, we've been calling this play for the last 30 seconds. Handball's in board, and Lucas Snowball kicks the goal. There we go. Doran, I saw him do that 100-metre sprint, and it was the only result. It was either a goal or goal assist from Doran.
As soon as he looked like he could be on, Doran's come straight off the interchange bench. As soon as it looked like he could be on to kick a goal, he has moved at Usain Bolt level speed into the forward pocket.
I've seen him play many, many games, Doran. I've not seen him move that quick, but the kick had to be really good there from Cam Alice-Yeoman too. It was the only player on the ground, perhaps, that could almost find him in that spot. It was wonderful.
And it's sad for Bailey Brown, the Labrador defender, because he put in a good 70-metre effort to close down the space.
He did.
Provide the contest, bring the ball to ground, and Lucas Snowball was there to put it through for Surfers Paradise. So they get another one. What's this margin now? 88 points. It has been a pasting.
4-2 to a point.
Ireland to do the ruck work. Greenwood comes up with it. Doran again. His man Fraser under pressure. Could have been an in-the-back free kick. Doran putting his head over it. Young comes up with the football. His handball too hot for Sullivan to handle. Scrappy piece of play. Out of sight of Caliber Holmes Oval. Now Moore at half forward. Chips it into the corridor. Going back with the flight of it was Shea, who took it on his chest, about 60 from home. He'll set this one up to the hot spot where Wood, being manhandled, he'll get a free kick.
Well, his previous best here in the TPIL Lawyers QAFL competition was 3. And I think the kid's only 17 years old. He's going for goal number 6. I don't even think he's missed. He's kicked 5-1 today. So he's been electric.
Oh, and he's about to anger you. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. He's going back with the drop punt. I thought he was about to line up and go with the around the body, but he was just scratching out the mark. Oh, he had you going.
Oh.
He had you going.
Disowned him. I'd never talk well of him again.
Would have been right off him. So Oscar Wood, 25 out, slightish angle, strikes it, kicks it. He's got 6. We are witnessing a star of the future in action, Oscar Wood, with another brilliant finish. His set shot goal kicking has been elite today, Yindy.
It has been. They've kicked a staggering 16-5 today from set shots. They've had 21 of their 28 scoring shots been set shots today. That is some sort of scoring.
It is a 94-point margin, 28-1-28. Plays Labrador 4-10-34, 96 points, 23 minutes played last quarter on TPIL Lawyers match of the day. And still probably 4 or 5 minutes from home. 3 minutes 51 as the timekeeper's just shown me on the clock. So there could be some space for more goals.
Yeah, it certainly will be. If you're a Tigers fan, hang tight because certainly a chance to hit the scoreboard, that's for sure. Brown under a fair bit of pressure with a look-away handball there from his teammate. But the D's have some plenty of numbers. Ireland has been one of the best for mine. Right foot kick inside the forward 50. Great spoil there from the Tigers at cross half back. Working under a fair bit of pressure. King was inadvertently taken high. Here's a chance for the captain. The captain wants to get in on the party, and the captain does get on the party. He's kicked a beautiful goal, and they've cracked the ton. They are leading this one by 100 points, and they're coming from everywhere, Jack.
We've got a Donny. Probably a little bit late to show some fight, boys. You're 100 points down. So it was the captain, Fraser, with a fantastic finish from just inside the 50-metre arc, and he got dealt with after he kicked it. And just about every player in the ground came in to have a little bit of a remonstrate. Cooler heads have prevailed.
But that's the frustrating part, Jack, and you've hit the nail on the head there, because they've shown a lot of fight. They're 100 points down. Why not attack the ball just that little bit harder? And that's not to be critical. That's just the reality. If you've got that much energy in reserve, why haven't you displayed that at all appropriately during the early parts of the game?
Just a bit of frustration boiling over for Labrador, because they have tried, but they've just been purely outclassed by a bigger side, a better drilled side.
And no one expected this result at all. This is a massive surprise result for the entire competition. No one would ever have seen this today. It's, if anything, probably a 3-goal margin, in my opinion, would have been the fitting result given what these two teams can produce. 100 points is not what anyone would expect.
It's been a dark day for the Tigers. Coming off the bye too. So they're definitely rested. Ireland against Pearce in the ruck. Ireland just thumps it forward. Sullivan got a handball back to Young. Young sweeps one into the middle of the ground to Egan. And now they're going to go inside forward 50. Egan goes looking for Marshall, who got front position, took a really good mark, Zach Marshall. He has been a lone shining star for the Tigers up forward. He's tried hard from limited opportunities. And this will be for his third. I told you I was terrible at keeping track of the goals.
This is third.
So Marshall for his third with that trusty left boot. It's coming around. He's put it through. So consolation goal for Zach Marshall, who's been one of the best up forward from limited opportunities. He's got his third goal of the day. Labrador have their fifth of the day, the margin back to 94 points.
Well, he's one player that can definitely hold his head high. I think there's probably 3 or 4 of them today that would, I look at the likes of Gregory, Derrington, Mason Field, even Kai Nichols across half back.
I thought Kai Nichols has been very, very good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reece Nichols.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so he's been outstanding for them today. So there's probably 4 or 5 key standouts. And the rest of them, they've just been out-muscled, outclassed, outgunned. And Nichols has gone into the midfield.
And they just seem to be an undersized team too. You look across Surface Paradise, especially on a dry day, they're going to give a lot of teams some headaches with the height and power that they provide. Woodburn kicking it towards half forward. Good pick up from Fraser. Goes inboard to Moore. Moore crosses the arc of 50. Set side for home. He's pushed it across to the left-hand side. Minor score. That would have been a great way to cap off the day for Surface Paradise. Don't think it'll matter too much when they start getting stuck into their social work in about 15 minutes' time.
Contributing to the club and getting them up and about, and no doubt a big win over the Tigers is...
Probably will be some rehydrating done.
Well, there's been a fair bit of cramping, so you have to rehydrate in some way. They've had to sing for their supper today, Surface Paradise, but it has been the complete performance. And Young across half back, it's drawing his teammate through the corridor now. There's no one inside the forward 50 for Labrador. Slips out the back to Field. Mason Field. Handballs up down to Hoy. He's taken their ground immediately. And Hoy, one of the young guns who has benefited from some the extra support and coaching from the likes of Lockie Henderson and Yellman.
We've got the trainers going out.
It
looks to be a shoulder injury. Try and see who it is when they pop to their feet.
I was thinking Greenwood at first, but no, Greenwood's on the bench. And they're going to take all the precautions in the world here.
Oh, it does look like it's a dislocation.
That's
the shoulder.
That's not Anderson,
Riley
is it?
Watts, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
It does not look good, so hopefully it's something they can push straight back in. He's got two trainers accompanying him and the runner. And, well, a bit of a sad footnote on today's dominant performance from Surfers Paradise.
Particularly the game was sort of, the result was almost in the bag pretty much at half time, wasn't it? And that's, you can't question their endeavour. They have not taken the foot off the gas, and this young man certainly putting his body on the line to the very end. He hasn't seemed too distressed, and that's a pleasurable thing.
I've had it before. In fact, it's Josh Neese. Always hard when they're covering the number to try and see who it is, but hopefully the young man's going to be okay.
Well, he's given the thumbs up, so he's not under too much distress.
So play underway again. Ireland got the tap. Nichols put the Tigers inside forward 50. Hoy's at the full of the ball. Leah Camp, she came up with it. Found a man on the half-back flank. It's your man, Snowball.
Oh, he's had a wonderful game, Lucas. And
look at Doran doing cartwheels in the middle of the ground, calling for the footy. He's going to get it. That's a great kick by Snowball. Coming across was Anderson. Anderson chips up to half-forward flank to Alice Yeoman. Had it knocked away from him. Yeoman butted up at ground level, went inside forward 50 looking for Patton. Had a couple of Tigers float back in front of him. The kick out of defence, and he's Wood. Doing it at both ends of the ground, Oscar Wood. Will wheel around. Have they got time to kick one before the siren? He goes looking for Jewel. Was knocked away from Jewel. At the fall, the ball was Moore. Gets onto his right foot. Kicks another one. Axel Moore with one of the goals of the day. With just a couple of seconds to play. Well, the margin back out over 100 points. Surfers Paradise 22-9-1-41. The Tigers 5-10-40. 101 points the difference, Yandy.
Well, you did say he missed one about 3.5, 4 minutes ago, and how good that would have been if he was able to finish off there. I think he just kept you in suspense there, Jack, because he had something better up his sleeve.
It was a great finish.
I nearly tore a hamstring jumping up in excitement of seeing Oscar Wood take that really good strong mark.
I think Matt Doran almost tore a hamstring calling for the footy in the middle of the ground here. He was doing star jumps. Had the desired effect, though, because Snowball found him.
Maybe that's the key going forward. If you want the ball, you've got to do star jumps,
cartwheels.
Do it all here. As Surfers Paradise reading out the last rights here for the Southern Tigers. They've put in a complete performance here. Nichols, left foot kick up towards centre half forward. And the D's will settle. And Jack Fulham to take this one out.
Just seconds remaining. Here's Anderson. Doran calling for it at half back. Anderson looks further afield, looking for Woodburn. Strong mark. Took it to the top of Godlewski coming past. There's the siren. And it is a resounding Surfers Paradise victory. 101 points in the end. Surfers Paradise 22-9-1-41. Labrador 5-10-40 on TPIL Lawyers Match of the Day. It has been a bloodbath. Chris Yan, your final thoughts?
Well, look, mate, I always do a 3-2-1 when I'm on the calls, mate. I don't know if you'd be thinking one's on the.
Well, how about you do the 1 and the 3, and I'll do the 2.
Okay, well, but I think my 3-2-1 might be different to yours. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is why
This is why we pay the big bucks, mate. But
well, actually, you know what, Yandy, take it away. You do the whole 3-2-1.
I'm going to do the 3-2-1 today. I give him 3 votes to Oscar Wood today. 6 goals and just a commanding performance. Had over a dozen marks. I've given 2 votes to Harrison Island. He just instrumental work in the ruck and his great work defensively. He set it up for me nicely. And then I've given 1 vote to Albie Jones because I did think that he was the conductor across half back, and he was able to generate some good ball delivery through the corridor. And I was thinking Hugh Greenwood as well. I mean, you could give it to, think about it, many other players, but I thought those 3 were my particular standouts of the day.
It was a fantastic effort. The goal scorers on the day, 6 goals for Oscar Wood, Cam Ellis-Yeoman kicked 3, Lucas Snowball 2, Hugh Greenwood 2, Ben Woodburn 2, and singles to Fraser and Jewel. Zach Marshall the lone multiple goal kicker for Labrador with 3. That is it for us on TPIL Lawyers Match of the Day. Surfers Paradise resounding victors, 101 points. And remember, next Saturday, Yendi, it's going to be streamed live on YouTube. Our Queensland state team travelling down to Latrobe in Tasmania to take on the Tasmanians in the state game for 2025. Don't miss any of that action. And that's all we've got time for, Yendi. A pleasure to finally get to call with you on Match of the Day.
The privilege and pleasure is mine, and big thanks to our main man, Harry, as well on camera.
Harry's done an outstanding job. That is all for us today. Join us next week for the state game. I'm Jack Fulham signing off from Match of the Day for TPIL Lawyers.
Right, now the drill, boys. Come on. In there, Harry. Yeah, oops. Slipped out of my fingers. There we go, even better. Oh, no, I've turned it on recording. I'm shocked. Hang on, try again.
Thank you, mate.
Here we go. Legend. Thank you. Good stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Seen anyone running around unless it's a lady.
2 or 3 weeks. I said to her in a couple of weeks, we've got a Friday afternoon game to be at home. So I said, Jess, I'm staying on. And then I think, when I do the VFL game, I just stay on. That's where I like to just pick random spots throughout the ground. So if I'm there on my own, I might sit in 4 or 5 different spots. Or if this bloke's calling it, no, I know. If he was calling, we'll probably just sit in the SEN box and cheer on. But you probably that Friday game will probably be done out of the studio, won't it?
Yeah, they'll probably send the Victorian team up for it because they've been setting them up for Friday nights because Friday nights is Thursday nights. Yeah, one of the nights Jared does. They always send him, and they basically always send Adam White to call with him. White is Jared's best mate, so it's it is what it is. Like,
No, it's
I get there. Like,